What you talking about?
What you talking about? What you talking about, bro?
Welcome. Welcome everybody. Welcome everybody tuning in. I'm your host with the motherfucking most, Chill Motherfucking Murray. You are tuned into the Live from the Spot podcast. Thank you for tuning in or not tuning in. You know how we do and how we rock. So, I'm just thinking about something as I was starting this. One of these days, we're gonna start this a little sooner. One of these weekends or something, when I'm off from work, we're gonna start this a little sooner than 12 o'clock and 11, 12 and shit like that. But like I said, thank y'all for joining it. I see the views are definitely starting to go up on the YouTube streams. I think each and every last one of you, I try as much as I can to comment on every last one that I can and respond to all the ones that I can. Thank you for everybody. We're gonna start doing special shout outs again. Trying to get please like and subscribe. Let me start saying that. I don't like to say it. I don't like to say it. But please like and subscribe. Number one, it helps the algorithm. Number two, it's so you see me helping you. And we're trying to get to 30K. 30K is so we can get the memberships. If you don't know. But yeah, 30,000 subscribers and I can start doing memberships for everybody. But until then, I will be my small time self. It's okay. And if, of course, I've started putting in the description. Once again, I don't like to. But as y'all know, of course, I've always said it. This shit ain't monetized. I am demonetized because the shit I say on here, of course. But yeah, a lot of times I'm not ad suitable, as they say. So I become ineligible to be monetized. So I don't get paid to do this shit. I just do this shit because I love to do it. I just love to do it. But yeah. So if you'd like to, please donate to the Cash App in the description. Chill Murray 1. With that being said, let us start the show. So yesterday evening, as I was getting off the pod, or should I getting information for the pod, I look up and I'm watching DJ Academics because yesterday was funny as hell. Yesterday was funny as hell. I guess I can't really show it because I guess that's his podcast, whatever. I don't really want to show too much from his stuff. We do have a clip from the podcast yesterday that we're going to get into, but yesterday was funny as hell. Yesterday was funny as hell in regards to him it looked like it was a meltdown, if you will. And I want to say all respects to DJ Academics. This is not necessarily dissing him. This is more just saying it was just funny to see him almost being in denial. I'm not going to say almost, just truly being in denial of the information that has been put out on Drake. Listen, I get it. I understand completely. As a fan myself, I completely get and understand the fandom of being a Drake fan. Okay? I am a fan of both Drake as well as Kendrick Lamar. With that being said, I, as a journalist of media, have to always call these things down the middle. No diddy. You cannot be biased to Drake just because you're a Drake fan. But it's also documented now, because he keeps saying it. Oh, I've talked to Drake. I've talked to Drake. I've talked to Drake. Drake messaged me. I've talked to Drake. Drake messaged me today. I talked to Drake. It's evident that you are in the Drake camp. and on the Drake team. You may not be official OVO, but you call yourself OVO act. So, with that being said, it was hilarious to see yesterday, even when an affiliate of the mole from Ebony Prince 2K24 Twitter account, when the affiliate joined the live yesterday and started basically saying, well, why don't you look into some of the information that's out there, Ack? And he pretty much just dismissed it as conspiracy theories. I haven't even heard that word in months. I haven't even heard those two words put together in months, conspiracy theories. Because none of these things are conspiracy anymore. I'd like to take a quote from Surprise Witness TV, BJ Investigation. Shout out to her, the lovely lady there. And facts ain't defamation. All of these things that we have been looking up, and we're going to look at some more blind items today that were put out. All of these blind items so far have been becoming very factual. There is nothing here to debate anymore. I'm sorry, but Drake, you in some shit. You in some shit. We done found you in some shit the last podcast. From the 17-year-old girl that is supposedly now going to be going to court. From what we heard, that sound like you going to court, love. That's what that sounded like to me. From the Dabo clip that I put out. Because she said, plain and simple, I cannot say it because that would be in the court. That was her 17-year-old self saying, I cannot say it because that would be in the court. And all Dabo asked was, would you have sex with Drake? Would you let Drake fuck you? Oh, I can't say because that would be in the court. What? Excuse me? I cannot confess. You pleading the fifth on a TikTok. Think about that. She was pleading the fifth on a TikTok. Lawyers would tear her apart in the courtroom. Lawyers would tear that little girl apart in the courtroom if that was a real lawyer asking her something. Drake Goose would have been cooked if that was a real lawyer asking her that question. His goose would have been cooked. And you know, it disturbs me that Dennis is telling people that there's a Drake after party at his house, and then lo and behold, it's just Dennis and a butler. It's just Dennis and a butler. And then the butler's following women. The butler follows women if they don't stay. The butler is following women if they don't stay. So bad that one girl was like, "Oh my goodness, I'm glad I found y'all. I had to get away from that creepy old man house." She goes to another place and they say, "Oh, don't go to Dennis' house. You don't want to go there." As if it's a Diddy party. In Dutchavelli. This damn dog eating your ass, Dutchavelli. I still can't. I'm disturbed by that video. I'm still extremely disturbed, but my sleep at night is not the same after seeing a dog lick a man's ass. It just isn't. I'm sorry. It's disturbing sleep now. And then it being connected to Diddy. Stefflon Don texting you saying, "Hey, FaceTime me." At the weirdest thing to say at that time, FaceTime me. I know Diddy's in there. Excuse me? Diddy in where? With Dutchavelli? In Dubai? That's another thing we gonna get into. What the fuck going on in Dubai? Cause now, I don't know if I wanna go. I don't know if I wanna go. I mean, if I go, I'm gonna visit and enjoy the luxury of the place. I know Dubai is a very luxurious and gorgeous place with the Wiz Khalifa. The highest tower in the world. Even though I'm scared of heights, I was staying far back on the wall and just to enjoy the sights of the clouds in the Wiz Khalifa. Dubai is a very nice place. But the shit, no pun intended, that I hear going on there, man, we gonna get into that too. And as far as this cover goes, we found some disturbing information about a Christopher Alvarez, who is, as you can see, is a terminally ill, dwarfed human being. Or dwarfed male, excuse me. And it's disturbing to the revelations that we found there. A picture of the gentleman in the Mark Hotel, which is linked to Jeffrey Epstein, inside the Mark Hotel lobby at 3 o'clock in the morning. The same night of Drake's show, while he was there. What is going on here? Like I said, it is very clear and evident that DJ Academics was in denial of all of these things that we found. And I ain't even name everything. I ain't even named everything that we found. We found a lot of shit that Drake is linked into over these past couple of weeks. And the title Scary Hours has took a different turn for the worse when it comes to looking at his album covers. Excuse me. They've taken a different turn for the worse, unfortunately. So, speaking of taking a turn for the worse, I want to get this bullshit out the way. Because like I said, I look up and I see DJ Academics promoting King Combs. Somebody fucking explain to me, why are DJ Academics promoting King Combs? But he says on his live, I'm not promoting it. This isn't promotion. But you running it back like you Funkmaster Flex. Explain to me how you know about all these Diddy accusations. You went through months of research on Diddy. Months of research on Diddy. Young Miami and the other dude. Can't remember his damn name now. Santana. Something Santana. I think Sexy Santana or something like that. Something Santana. Whatever that dude name is. Him threatening to rape you. You don't want to do all this to promote a King Combs record on your live. I was perplexed. Very perplexed about that. And then you were excited about it. It's very questioning to me, I'll be honest with you. But, that being said, let me play this bullshit so y'all can hear. If you have not heard already, this is King Combs' new record, Pick a Side, in which he is dissing 50 Cent and all the haters of his father. Lord have mercy. Someone help this child.
They praying on our downfall another time again. After the rain fall, the sun gon' shine again.
That's right.
Don't bust no U-turns, cause we ain't forgetting shit. And to all y'all that switch, suck my dick!
Let's go.
Yeah. Suck my dick. What? You talking down the family name, man, you wildin'. What? I dare one of you niggas scream out no Diddy.
Fuck that nigga.
Bro, glow with me. Baddies, they ready to go with me. I just nod and they know to go get 'em. Might see me with some pretty hoes with me, but ain't no hoe with me. I just laid back in that Virgil Maybach. That shit like 450. Police raid the crib like they think we sellin' crack. But we out here sellin' tracks. Multi-million-dollar plaques. Rather put this shit on wax. All that gossip shit is whack. When all they had was 50 Cent. Who put this city on the map? Stop lying. Pops been hated on by many men. And nigga, that's fine. They gon' try to stop these Eminem. times, and they gon' die trying. Pull up to the south side, we locked in, we got ties. Don't give a fuck about no blogs, cause we really outside.
Hey yo, CT, what the fuck these niggas talking about? Niggas say it's war time, then it's war, nigga. What we doing? Niggas playing with niggas' names and all that. Fuck that!
Broke nigga, I don't know who even birthed these hoe niggas. All that woofing on the net, well now it's time to show niggas. Steady talking on the fam and we don't even know niggas. But go ahead, play one call away, we ain't sparing no
that
nigga.
shit dead.
Count bandos in my Gucci sandals, these niggas is sick. Probably hating cause we rich, he must think we fucked this bitch. Knock them walls down like when them Fetty boys ran in both our cribs. Too bad they ain't know we bought the one next door, cause that's the one they miss. How y'all talking like a nigga time up? Throwing shade, get your shines up. Asking where my pops at, he on the G6 getting the line up. All you pussy ass niggas line up, let's multiply the lies up. We running shit, this bad boy, make a bad bitch want sign up.
Thank God that was towards the end of that shit there. Now, talk about a couple things here. First of all, why in the fuck are you doing a record with the feds investigating you? You yourself are under federal investigation, King Combs. You and your father have separate fucking cases. Why in the hell are you doing any type of song, sir? That is the first thing. Second thing, it appears to me that you do not care that you are under investigation because you're talking about fuck the blogs and the media, you're outside. I don't know if you know this or not, or if you watched enough movies with the mobs. But when you are under federal investigation, you are being watched 24/7. So you can be outside as much as you want. But you better not do shit. Because it's going to all come out in court. It ain't going to come out now. It's not like those investigators are going to say, hey, tell TMZ he's doing this right now. No. They don't wait till your ass in court and present the information there. So yeah, go ahead. Be outside, King Combs. Be stupid as you have been and continue to be outside. Go ahead. That's fine. Next thing I want to talk about. You subliminally diss 50 Cent. Okay. The diss to 50 Cent was cute. Say that. Because you didn't say anything too reckless to 50 Cent. Let's also note that. You didn't get too crazy in being disrespectful to him, which was very smart on your part. You should not say anything reckless to 50 Cent. Let's just start there. Okay? The cream of the crop of this record is your dumb ass saying the feds didn't know they bought the crib next door because that's the one that they missed. If I'm a federal investigator and I hear King Combs say this stupid shit, I'm saying, hey, did y'all hear this? There's a house next door that we missed. Maybe we should get another court order subpoena, should I say, a court order, what do you call it? Let's get another a court order opinion to say, hey, can we go up in here and just look at something real quick? Because King Combs is saying that we missed this house. I think we should investigate it. May we have a search warrant? Because he says we missed this house and there was some things in it, you know what I mean? How dumb can you be to say that on a record? Like I said, apple don't fall far from the motherfucking tree. You doing dumber shit than your dad out here. And not covering none of it up. You saying, hey, come and get me. I'm here. That's what it looked like. You just saying, hey, come get me, I'm here. Nigga, what is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? This ain't the movies, King Combs. Excuse me, Christopher. This ain't the movies, Christopher. I ain't calling you King Combs no more. You ain't no damn king. Ain't the movies. This ain't the movies, Christopher. You need to chill out. It's evident Misa cannot get a hold of you. Well, no, actually, no. Excuse me. I forget. Misa is the mother of Justin, who also is not wilding out here, but it's just like his brother seemed to not really care about things, and he's in the worst of it. Saw a picture today of him on Instagram, sitting in swamp water. The picture ain't worth 1,000 words. You know what? That shit's still funny as hell to me. Look at this shit. Look at this shit. If pictures ain't worth 1,000 damn words. Sitting in muddy waters. Oh, sitting in muddy waters. And the poor baby girl is all in muddy waters with them. All this should say to me is that people do not care. There's apparent people who do not care right now. Let's just say that Diddy has the family just not caring right now. Let's just still live our regular lives. Nothing's gonna happen to me. I'm not going to jail. Which that is starting to look true. Don't look like Diddy going to jail. I think he's going to go to trial. I think in November he's going to be arrested and go to trial. I don't think he's going to jail. He's not going to jail. He's definitely going to be arrested, though. Or should I say, remember we found the subpoena. Or the summons, the court summons, excuse me. So he is already summoned to court. So he's going to have to, I think there's just going to be a trial about this. And there's not necessarily going to be, like I said, any conviction, if you will. Because he is a criminal informant at the end of the day. With other connections of things. So I don't necessarily think he's going to go to jail for this. Unfortunately. So, with King Combs dissing 50 Cent, for some strange fucking reason, Meek Mill decides to chime in on this whole thing. Which I don't know why. I'm just perplexed on why Meek Mill wants to chime in on these type of things right now. Because Meek Mill himself, you know, is not exactly in the best of the public light right now. As you all know, Meek is under fire for the accusations with Diddy. And for some strange reason, he chose to make a series of tweets today towards 50 Cent. Meek Millie, super outside all summer. Y'all talk too much with no content. But let me stop. These the niggas y'all look up to. Excuse me. These people that destroy black families and success like bad cops. I don't find him funny. I see him as a rich parasite. Niggas be rooting for these niggas to go to jail and claiming he's from the street. I'm gonna start bombing on him. I never seen black people laugh at black people getting indicted. He really be online enhancing people cases, and he got real statements against niggas. You ain't feed Mike Knox yet. Everybody on to you. And then this one, at the bottom. I'm blow this one up. Ow. What I ran into 50 many times. No, it says, ow, what? I ran into 50 many times. He only had monster around him that was risking his life and really holding the line. Nobody was trusting 50. He too vicious. Nigga spoke on my child like this. Nigga mentally sick. First of all, the owl, what? I ran into 50 many times. I just want to say,
Damn, Morpheus. What you about to do? I love you, man. Ugh. Nigga, you gay.
I'm just saying. With that. Because what was with the long owl? What I ran to 50 Cent many a times. Excuse me? You ain't helping it none, me. You ain't been helping it none lately. As far as you go. Lord have mercy. And then this shit here. My nigga, got some shit around your shit. I don't know if you laying in the beach. They made a sand castle out of you or something. You got some shit on your shit. And with the accusations going on around here, that shit on your shit don't look right. I'm just saying. It does not look right at all. Now, clearly you have sand on your shirt, so we will excuse you. But the fact that you are smiling the way you are in this picture, I was hoping that it would come with a slide of, like I said, you being in a sandcastle or something. Or making a sandcastle, I should say. Or them burying you under the sand. Something. You laying with a bitch. Something. No, it's just your ass smiling with some sand on your face. As I said before, Meek, your son ain't the only one confused out here. You have a lot of us confused as well sometimes. Let's just say that. You have a lot of us confused just as fucking well. And, of course, 50 being the troll he is, has responded back to both already. Now, why would you say some shit like this when you know the feds are investigating? Is you stupid or is you dumb? That was his response in regard to the record that was put out, Pick a Side, of course. My sentiments exactly, 50. Are you stupid or dumb? Are you stupid or dumb? And he puts out another tweet, IG post. I really don't understand why they want to drug women. If she can't remember how good it was the next morning, how do you connect? That's funny as fuck. That's funny as fuck. Diddy's son Christian Combs releases 50 Cent diss track references federal raids. And as you can see down here, USA Today. I don't know if he understands what federal investigation means. I swear. And then this is the next post he put out earlier today. This was in regards to Meek Mill's tweets. You sold 6,000 copies your last project. You should not be on vacation. Still chasing the dream or embracing the nightmare. Standing by your man that I respect. And see, this is what I like about 50 Cent. 50 will just, in the most subtle, short way, not no gossipy stream of rants like he's schizophrenic or something. Just a simple statement. Like, look, you sold 6,000 on your last album, which that was we heard about it this week. It didn't hear about it the next. The Rick Ross collab album he did, which was even worse. The fact that you got someone that was already, of course, at the time more relevant than you in the music world, or in the rap world even. You got somebody more relevant and popular than you, of course your boss, to team back up with you after you sold your house back to him. Clearly there's some financial issues there. And you still only sold 6,000 copies of your album. Now, regardless of the matter of you independent, you still with Roc Nation. So, I don't know what Roc Nation was doing over there. Maybe they just didn't care anymore. Because the first thing I think of with Rock Nation is Jay-Z not even affiliating himself with Diddy anymore. So if he doesn't affiliate himself with Diddy anymore, why would he promote someone that is affiliated with Diddy? Of course, y'all remember this video here. I had showed this before of Diddy turning around all fast when his name got mentioned and looking how freakish he looking at Meek. Like, yeah. And of course, I will never play that audio here on the podcast of him doing what he did to Meek. I will never play that audio. Listen, I didn't want to play the dog video. I didn't want to do dog video, but I had to. So, but yeah, if you want to hear it, there is a video out there, a disturbing video at that, of Meek getting his cheeks clapped by Diddy himself. So, do that information as you will. And with that being said, I guess we will move on to the blind items from Mr. Kendrick Lamar's mole, Ebony Patrick. Ebony Patrick. I don't know why I keep saying Ebony Patrick. I've been saying that in my head recently. Ebony Patrick for some reason. It's Ebony Prince 2K24. So let's go to. Let's go to my files real quick. So remember the video that we put out? You know what? Real quick. Let's just go through a couple of quick blind items. Excuse me. Go through a couple of quick blind items before we even get into Alvarez. So there was some blind items that were put out. Of course, we saw the board of the blind items beforehand, right? And those blind items basically came from a site called Crazy Days and Crazy Nights, okay? In which I'll just briefly show you guys. Of course, it's still up. Oh, it's a locked post now. Sorry, this post has been removed by the moderators. See? And that's why I look up shit and save shit the way I do. Because this was a thread. Oh, there's still a lot of stuff here. This is basically a thread in which there were a lot of blind items from Crazy Days and Nights that were pretty much clues that would lead you down different rabbit holes of information on different celebrities. Now, there was another site, I can't remember the name of it, I have it bookmarked though, that had a lot of other blind items on it. And that one had a more extensive list of different celebrities, including one that had Jay-Z, which I need to save for another video because there's more information that I have to look up on it. It was basically the one where he knew that he would possibly be going to court, so he canceled Made in America festival that he always does. Which, have you noticed, the past few years there hasn't been a brunch or a Made in America festival, and Jay-Z has pretty much been he's been silent. He hasn't really said anything. He hasn't made any appearances except for the specials on the what do you call it? The specials on the library that opened up. That's pretty much all you've seen of Jay. Him being at Beyonce concerts, like I said, he's been very shadow. So don't want to get into that, but like I said, there's a lot of blind items about celebrities on this Reddit thread. So a lot of the blind items, like I said, have clues. So one of them, let's look at just a random one real quick. So take this one for example, right? So yeah, real quick. Oh. So this one was about Haley Baldwin, right? Help y'all out just a little bit. Oh, a little too far. Says that teen who was topless in the dressing room of his foreign-born A-list singer rapper last night was nowhere in the ballpark of being legal. So that one was in reference to Miss Haley Baldwin, when before she was, of course, Haley Bieber. And there was a article about that. Actually, let's go to TMZ real quick. Shall we? Drake getting close with Haley Baldwin. Drake extended his holiday weekend with Haley Baldwin by getting cozy with her on a date the night after they hung out at his insane house party. Now, what was interesting about that is how long ago Haley Baldwin actually met Drake. So, as you see here in 2016, Haley 19 said this about Drake. I've known him for a long time. I don't know if people really know that. Haley told E! News in an interview on MMVA Carpet. I've known him for about like 4 years. He's a great friend. So if she's 19 then, 4 or 5 years ago would have been she met them when they were about 14, 15 years old, right? And as you see here, Haley and Drake were spotted getting very affectionate at a Memorial Day party on May 30th. But, as you know, Drake, he didn't want anybody to necessarily know that he was with Miss Haley Baldwin when she was only 19 years old. Now, if we're talking about 2016, man's about 30 years old then. That's what the disturbing part about that was. So 4 or 5 years prior, Drake would have been 26, 25, but Miss Haley would have been about 14, 15 when Drake started talking to Haley Baldwin, unfortunately. Boy, oh boy. Very unfortunate with this child, I'll tell you. So, moving on to our next blind item. This one was kind of funny, actually. This one was actually pretty funny. So, our next blind item includes Miss Rihanna. Says maybe this foreign-born, one-named A-list singer-rapper should have told the whole story about his split with a fellow foreign-born A-lister. How she caught him more than once with another woman, and his fascination for watching porn involving women wearing pigtails. So this one was about Rihanna, the real reason why Rihanna had split from Drake. Now, what was interesting about the pigtails was that, you know, all the infatuation that Drake has been said to have with these women, and these younger women, I should say, these young girls. What stands out to me now is the Scary Hours 2 cover. Notices 2 little girls with angel wings and pigtails. My nigga. And see, now the cover make more sense. And why you titling it Scary Hours at that? Basically, you just doing raps about your dark hours at night and what you really be doing. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I tell you. So, let's go to our next blind item real quick. So, another blind item we have here. This one was about Nicki, Diddy, and Drake. Very small thing, of course, but something to note, of course. I'm probably gonna put myself away for this one because it's a little larger in the eyes, Don't want to do that, of course. So the Canadian rapper may have nasty, nasty friends, but he isn't the only one. Just ask the British rapper who made the praise song with the Umbrella Lady's husband. So, British rapper who made the praise song with the Umbrella Lady's husband. Now, of course, not the British rapper part, but of course, we're talking about Rihanna here. And the Good Morning remix with Freak Off. So, we're talking about Rihanna and Diddy here. So, one of his friends was a solo rapper who's currently doing time in a UK jail for Jeffrey Dahmer-like crimes. This solo rapper had a side hustle as a male escort who would make it clap for depraved racist men in the music industry. It's how he paid for his Lions video. Quote, Lions video. Part of his extreme mental illness is a repulsive slavery fetish, which was discussed in his court case. What does any of this have to do with the Canadian rapper? The solo rapper has been gossiping about the Canadian rapper and the praise rapper behind bars. He thinks they should be in there with him, but wants their help to get out. It will never happen. The Canadian rapper can't afford to be connected to any more preds now that the Kung Fu rapper, Kendrick Lamar, is going after him. Okay. So, we know they're talking about Rihanna there. But who's the British rapper that made the praise song? Well, of course, the only other thing rapper I could think about, of course, would be maybe like a Central C or something, but of course, we're talking about the husband, so I mean, A$AP Rocky isn't really British, but like I said, the only person I can think of if we're talking about Drake here, like I said, would be Central C. I'm not necessarily know if he has a praise record. Maybe he does. But needless to say, that one was more so about the affiliation with Solo 45. When they say the solo rapper. Okay? So let's move right here. I'm going to show you guys who Solo 45 is. And him with Drake at that. So this is Solo 45 over here, seen in a picture with Drake. But there was an actual article titled that the boy better know that artist Solo 45 was charged with some allegations. So it says here, boy better know artist Solo 45 charged with 29 counts of rape. That's a lot. The 31-year-old's trial has been pushed back to April 2018 after three more people came forward with rape accusations. Of course, the post was taken down. Solo 45, a member of grime collective Boy Better Know, has been charged with 29 counts of rape, BBC reports. The 31-year-old artist's real name, Andy Anokai, was originally charged with 2 counts of rape, 1 count of false imprisonment, and 1 count of causing actual bodily harm. He has since been charged with 27 additional counts of rape after 3 more people came forward with accusations, according to police. It says Anokai was scheduled to appear in court on Wednesday, but the date was adjourned due to the additional charges. He pled not guilty to the original charges, BBC reports. Anokai will now stand trial on April 16, 2018. Now, since then, of course, he had already been sentenced to about, I think, 10 years or more. But yeah, man. Crazy shit he's involved in. And then there's the BBC doc here, where Solo had basically revealed some disgusting videos and texts of him with other women to people in the Island Records office. It says Octavian's ex-partner appears in new BBC documentary investigating music industry abuse. The documentary examines predatory behavior in the music industry from Eric Morillo to Solo 45. Another person Drake is yet to be affiliated with. Isn't that something? Another sexual assault artist that Drake is connected to. But wait, it gets worse. In the words of Sticky Fingers. So I guess we'll go to this one real quick, because it's a very small one. Very small one. So this one is about Camila Cabello. So it says the foreign-born illiterate A-B+, that's so wrong, B+ list singer and horrible actress is out of money and is desperate to make a comeback in the music scene. She has an album coming out, and to get an A-list collaboration, she slept with 2 famous rappers, a woman beater, and the wheelchair rapper who's into people too young for him. So the woman beater was supposedly in reference to Playboy Cardi. How we know is Camila Cabello actually has the record with Playboy Cardi.
How did you get Cardi on the song?
Goodness gracious, girl. I basically I DM'd him because I was listening to a lot of Playboy Cardi. Like,
So you didn't have a prior relationship with him?
no, I mean, well, I DM'd him and I was like, I just DM'd him, hey,
Just hey.
butterfly emoji. Because I was just like, whether or not we do a song, I was like, I'd love to just like say hi and connect because I'm a fan. And again, that's like a big part of the energy of this album process too. I was just very like kind of in Miami. I was like really like chilling with like my family and my friends. I wasn't really in like the industry, and I wasn't even like, I feel like, trying to hang out with people like that. I was like really kind of hermiting. And I was like, I really like, wow, I am so blessed that in this lifetime I'm able to like meet and connect with people who I really respect and who I listen to, and I can, pick their brain and ask them questions. Like, that's so sick. Like, why would I not do that? And I think I had a little bit of imposter syndrome, honestly, of being like, they don't know who I am. Like, they don't They don't want to hang out.
Come
with Matt.
on.
I'm not trying to be like
Stop
that,
it.
but I really was like, I was like, he's not gonna, he doesn't know who I am. But then I started getting in the habit of doing it, and I was like, oh, this is like actually kind of leading to sick moments in my life. And yeah, so I DM'd him, and he responded, and me and Pablo and Jasper like freaked out because they're also like they're the ultimate Cardi fans. They actually like kind of put me onto him, and yeah, and so I was like, hey, like I'd love for you to come to the studio. Like I have stuff to play you because we really wanted him on this song, and he loved it, and yeah, just,
These
like,
mean
kept to,
streets.
him showing me how to like get sturdy. I love it.
That's
Well-
amazing.
How to get sturdy? How to get sturdy, huh? So, and then of course, we would have Mr. Drake, who was seen with her in Turks and Caicos recently. Numerous pictures were seen of them, but as well as video footage was seen of them.
Drake and Camila Cabello sparked dating rumors. On December 13th, footage obtained by Pop Crave showed Drake and Camila Cabello spending time together in Turks and Caicos, leading to widespread speculation about a possible romantic connection. Fans expressed surprise at the unexpected pairing, with one social media user saying, "He needs to find someone around his age." Another social media user said, "I know what y'all thinking. I'm here to let you know that you're probably right." Drake has a history of sparking dating rumors with other A-list celebrities, such as Jennifer Lopez in 2016, when they were photographed cuddling together. An insider close to Jennifer Lopez said, "They seem to really like and respect each other, but it's early." While hanging out together,
Okay, we don't need to know about J-Lo. But the Camila Cabello one, of course. Let me see here. So Camila Cabello, I mean, I don't think they have too much of an age difference. Yeah, well, so I agree with the whole get one that's around your age part, because she's 27 years old, he's 37 going on 38. So, I mean, still a 10-year difference, Drake. I mean, I agree. You can definitely get someone that's around your age. Of course, J-Lo's was engaged and married at the time, so, I mean, we all know that there wasn't nothing going on with their real. Supposedly they had a business, a meeting arrangement, whatever. But J-Lo into some other shit too. So who knows what the fuck that picture was about? And I mean, with all the candlelits and the hugging and whatnot, and that whole picture just looked like he definitely hit J-Lo. Just to say he hit J-Lo. Next one. Next one we have here in the slides of things would be Miss Brooke Nicole. Let me give y'all a quick little zoom in here again. We can get it like that now, right? There we go. Alright, so the lottery sounding rapper needed some help with her music after her last failure. The former wheelchair actor stepped up and in return got the barely old enough to drink sister of the rapper. Now, we already broke this one down. Or should I say, we already went over this one. That one is, of course, as you see, Brooklyn Nicole and her sister Lala. What people didn't know was the reason why Drake was seen with Brooklyn Nicole. So apparently, Lotto sold her sister to get her music career back up. So, remember when now Drake is always saying, "I helped you boys do this, I helped you boys do that," or "I helped y'all with music," or "I helped y'all with songs"? He always saying that in records, isn't he? Apparently, he helped Miss Lotto with her pen game recently. Well, not with her pen game, because I know Lotto has a pen herself. But it would be definitely evident, I would say, if Drake were to throw her some references or even make some phone calls to get her some better records. to get her another Mariah Carey fantasy type record. You know what I mean? Because Lotto's has a string of hits. She's had a string of records out here, but nothing to really stick like that fantasy record. So, which brings us down to we don't need to look at the Nicki and Drake husband one. Yeah, we don't need to look at that one. This was an interesting one as well. And we don't necessarily have to look up any information on it. But this one was rather... I don't even know what to call it. Because it's one of those things where you say to yourself, well, damn. I wasn't expecting that. Let me bring myself down here again. So there's an interesting dynamic going on in the music world right now. Sick and disgusting, but interesting how it divides. Apparently, if you are a follower of this one named permanent A-list singer, and by a follower I mean attend his parties, Diddy, work with his producers and guest talent, then that means you are more of a lover of underage boys. This whole group is dedicated to finding young male talent and then developing them. Yes, that A-list singer was one of them. He, in turn, has brought them several others. I'm thinking that's Usher, of course. The other group, led by his foreign-born, one-named permanent A-list singer, generally tends to attract followers who like finding and developing underage females. They like to model themselves after R. Kelly in his development of Aaliyah. Talking about Drake here. So they are all about getting these teens under their control, both sexually and musically. They even formally call their group MLK after the song Let Me Know, which featured R. Kelly and Aaliyah. You will often see it written on their shoes to let people know they are a member of that group. Now, what was interesting about this particular one, and of course I can't play it because of UMG copyrights and that other bullshit. The song Drake and Young Jeezy Unforgettable, as you remember in the very beginning of the record, the sample starts out with Aaliyah singing Let Me Know. So isn't that something that he has a record titled Unforgettable, and then referencing the infatuation with boys has the sample Let Me Know in it from Aaliyah. I mean, this is one of those things where, like I said, it's starting to get really tricky when it comes to talking about Drake and the things that he's actually, involved in or allegedly infatuated in. So another blind item came up. And I guess we might as well get into this one. Why wait? Another blind item had featured this. It says Potter Paper been calling out Drake from time he's been messaging bare young girls in England. Kendrick might have really done his homework on this one. Interesting. Very interesting.
Drake don't like me, bro.
Why?
He fucks with the pagans.
Exactly.
So fuck Drake.
Fuck you, man. That don't mean he don't like you.
Wassers are on you, bro.
That don't mean he don't like
My
you, though.
6 wassers are on you, bro.
Exactly.
Who told you bad man don't dance, bro?
Exactly. Whoa.
Fuck the man them or something. So
that don't mean he don't like you though. Just 'cause he done a song with certain man.
No. Man been DMing him off like it leaves me like seen like a chicken.
Does he follow you?
Yeah.
And he airs you.
Just these man seen like.
No.
I asked him post my album. I asked him, man, post my album, don't post my album. But you just want to be there sucking dick.
Whoa,
You know what I'm saying?
whoa.
That's even that. I even asked him for the beat. Alright, Bills? Man DM'd him, asked him for the beat. He aired, man. Man just done it anyway.
Bro.
You get me?
Well, he actually read it.
Scene. Says scene. Obviously, he might have someone that controls his thing, but he's definitely got like,
Drake's hands on.
He's definitely got the thing like messaging other people. You know what I'm saying?
Fucking
you know
hell, man.
messaging bare young girls in England.
Oh, we're due to smash him up.
Sort yourself out, mate. Yeah, but anyway, man, your stream's gone viral now, so well done.
Yeah, we can edit now still.
Exactly.
You hear that? So more confirmation of what we heard before and what we looked up before about him doing things with underage girls in London. Remember, we looked up before that he owns the house in Hackney, London. And like I said, his affiliation with Dutch Valley and Dutch Valley luring young girls with the dog. Speaking of the dog, so as we broke down before, there were some weird things, of course, now with him wearing these dog masks and for all the dogs and the dog affiliation now, right? So weirdly about that, there were a couple of different blind items and looks like tweets about Dubai and dog bowls, right? Starting with this one here. It says, well, let me zoom in for you guys, of course, real quick. Swear to God, I'm not making this up. About 4 or 5 years ago, a model I knew from Toronto said Drake made girls puke in dog bowls for him. Check my comment history. I even said if Kendrick brought up Drake having sick tendencies, he was done for. Which he did. We looked that up before. He said it a couple of years ago, actually. That was the weird part. So, not a couple of years ago, about a year ago, excuse me. About a year ago, he actually said it. Which was crazy enough that he would say that. But, now, also, this Dubois shit. That's where all this dog, this whole dog infatuation and Dubois shit and porta potties and whatnot come from. So, a couple of blind items here. And I want to warn you guys and put a disclaimer on this. Because from here, it gets extremely disgusting. I just want to forewarn y'all. And I'll give y'all a quick, what do you call it? Introduction to what we're about to look at. Or should I say discuss? This foreign-born male B-list hip-hop singer used to supplement his income by dancing at bachelor parties. Yes, bachelor, not bachelorette parties. Must have been interesting, Drake. What they were referring to is this particular photo here of Drake seen at the House of Ebony in 2016. Now, we're going to get into Dubois in just a second. But where the Dubois infatuation even came from and him doing the dance parties in Dubois actually came from this. So supposedly in 2016, Drake was, I guess, dancing at the House of Ebony. Now, if you don't know what the House of Ebony is, this is the House of Ebony. It's a LGBTQ pride community club. So apparently, like I said, in 2016, Drake was either seen at this club or dancing at this club, allegedly. Now, I doubt he had moves like this guy. But apparently the gentleman was there. So, moving along to the Dubois situation, right? So, with Dubois, once again, a disclaimer for this nasty shit we about to discuss here. With the Dubois situation, apparently there was a guy that knew once again some models that had a quite interesting story to tell. Oh, did the wrong thing there. Oh, let me zoom that in a little bit for y'all. Got you. So my ex-friend was a Dubois porta potty, but that's a story for another day. Or should I say, is it? Sigh. Oh, okay. So a while back, let me zoom it in for you guys again. So a while back, when I was in Costa Rica, I met these young teen girls who basically were traveling the world. They were fucking wild, but yeah. So this one girl, she's a flight attendant. Let's call her Kate. So Kate was constantly hyping me up about traveling. Of course, I had to do it this way because there's a series of these damn things. Oh, zoom that one in for you too. So one night after the club, we're on the beach with the surf boys. The fucking stories I could tell about these surf boys, and we're telling wild stories. Kate goes, "Well, I have the wildest. Bitch, nothing prepared me for that fucking roller coaster Kate took us on." So Kate proceeded to tell us that there's this underworld of sex traveling. I don't know this at all, where if you are lucky, some rich guy will invite you on an all expense paid trip just to say he can. Sometimes full on sex is involved, sometimes not so much. She said she was on a private flight from Canada to France, and one of these dudes took a liking to her and invited her to Dubois, right there on the spot. She had to be careful taking his info because she could lose her job for fraternizing, but they exchanged numbers anyway. Oh, how'd it go away? Let's continue with the story. She said he took her out a couple of times in France and was nice. He was the perfect gentleman, opening doors, paying for expenses, etc. She said she kissed him and he was taken aback, like he wasn't expecting that. She thought we would cancel a trip, but he didn't. Mind you, this man is super cute, supposedly, so she's into him. Any D-Day rolls around. She boarding the plane, flight in Canada, and he's boarding in LA, so they're meeting in Dubois. She told her boyfriend that she had a small gig over there, and he was like, no problem. She said he set her up in an amazing room with a view, and they met up later after they both got some rest. They did dinner, and he took her back to the hotel and left. She's wondering what the fuck is wrong with this man, if she only knew. Moving on to our next one. Have it baked up for you guys already. So the next morning he texts her and says, "Get ready, dress classy. You have it an hour." Cool. She gets ready and a car picks her up. It's a long ass ride, but oh well. When she finally gets there, it's a beautiful mansion with no neighbors for literally miles. She walks into, it's a bunch of older dudes milling about with each other. Oh my goodness, milling about with each other and girls her age. She's starting to get the idea it's a bunny ranch. She still doesn't see an issue. Her host greets her and introduces her around a bit, then asks her to go enjoy herself. She's talking with the girls and some are really nice. Well, she's got herself real comfortable, huh? And really nice, but a few of them really nervous, and she just chalks it up to them being newbies. Wow. They were not. She said she noticed the men weren't drinking even though there was alcohol everywhere. Most of them were having coffee. Weird. Most of them having coffee. So at some point in the evening, they all sit down to dinner, and she said she'd never eaten that good before. After dinner, they played games, and everyone slowly drifted off to bed. She tried to follow her host, but he said no, her room was on the other side of the mansion. Weird. So she passes out, and at about 2:30 a.m., there's a soft knock on the door. One of the attendants has come in to get her for the games. Games? At 2:30? She puts on some sweats and went. She said where they had been furniture just hours before, the whole place was empty, except for buckets and sex toys. The other girls were standing around too. Some were confused, but nervous girls were shaking now. Oh, I fucking bet they were, to just come down and see sex toys and oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Like I said, but wait, it gets worse. The men came in and the girls were instructed to strip. Hesitantly, they all did. She said she watched in horror as the jovial, fat German man walked over to a bucket, dropped his pants, and took a shit standing over it. He pulled his pants up, walked over to one of the girls, and hand-fed her his shit. Like, dipped his hand in the bucket and scooped shit into this girl's mouth. He looked at her expectantly, and she started chewing. So at this point, Kate is fixing to leave, and her host lets her know she is stuck there. Yeah, I bet. There are no cars, no one for miles, and they took her phone. He tells her if she wanted to opt out, she'd have to find her own way out and miss out on the money. Money? What money? Yeah, I bet now all of a sudden you're very interested in the money, huh? Aren't you? Fucking tell you. So he proceeded to explain the game as he does. She looks around. The men are smiling, and the girls, well, they're calculating how much they can take. 50,000 last the weekend, and you get 50,000 each. At this point, the girl chewing starts gagging. The man with the bucket holds it out, and she pukes into it. He grins wide. He sidesteps to the next girl, silently challenging her. Tears in her eyes, she opens her mouth. I'm just gonna list off some of the things she said she did and or witnessed. One girl had the contents of the bucket stuffed up her. Kate ate a solid piece of shit. Girls had to slide across the floor on their stomach, licking up shit. There was human centipede action. So, if you don't know what human centipede actions are, it's basically when it's like a train almost of, sorry I have to say this, a train of people eating ass. Yeah. So it's people on all fours like dogs, basically eating each other's ass in like a, think of dominoes lined up. It's like that, unfortunately. Oh boy. Oh boy. Got 5 more to go, y'all. 5 more to go. So, moving on. So, rooms in the next morning, they were summoned to breakfast, and the men ate and drank and joked like nothing happened at all that weekend. Each girl collected their cash. She said while she was getting into her car, I guess. Excuse me. The sick man, her host, had the audacity to say, "Hope to see you at the next one." She said when she got back to Canada, she took a work sabbatical and underwent intense therapy because the sight of anything brown and creamy triggered her. Yeah, I fucking bet. She didn't tell her boyfriend about it until a year later, and he promised not to tell anyone what she did. You a good dude. But that he couldn't be with her. Oh, never mind. He said he was keeping that car. He said he was keeping the car though. Guess it wasn't her car. It was the least she could do after putting him through that. After putting him through that. She said it was fair and let him keep it. Well, okay. 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 Oop. Clearly, she didn't learn her lesson because I met her while she was doing a sex travel. Wow. She did say though that she refuses to meet the men anywhere other than the hotel, bar, and restaurant. Always has backup when they go to the room. So now she just became a fucking professional at the shit. When she was done, the air was still, the silence was deafening. We were all in fucking shock. Because why would you ever tell that story? I never spoke to her again, I bet. I want y'all to understand Kate comes from a good home, had a job that lets her travel free, made good money at said job, and still did all that for some fucking Instagram pictures. Some people are beyond saving Bretta. I agree with you, sir. Oh, okay. I thought this was the part of that tweet, but it's not. But yeah. So, nasty shit goes on in Dubai, if y'all don't know. But if you need further proof, I have that for you.
Did you know that we have already uploaded our first video on our channel before? It is about the dark reality of Dubai and perfect lifestyle. But behind the beautiful pictures and carefully planned posts, there is a troubling issue known as the Dubai porta potty. If you have been blissfully unaware of this term, consider yourself lucky. But if you are a morbidly curious person who falls into a dark internet rabbit hole during midnight scrolls, then watch this video till the end. Instagram models were first brought to light a few years ago by the website Tag the Sponsor, and it did not take long for it to become overrun with screenshots of ladies agreeing to perform a variety of obscene actions in exchange for money. Tag the Sponsor shows pictures and videos of young girls willing to do things like let guys poop on them and abuse 11-year-old boys who need to become men, among other things. According to African Insider, there have been reports about something called Dubai porta potties being a real thing since 2016. People have shared their experiences online, and there is a website called DubaiPortaParty.top that seems to be involved in recruiting individuals for this activity. The website's homepage states, "Consider becoming a porta potty today and start earning 7 figures in US dollars within a short period of time." While that sounds bad enough in itself, it is probably worse than you thought. The rumors suggest that wealthy men bring attractive Instagram models to Dubai to have parties and spoil them with lavish gifts. In return, some of these parties involve strange and uncomfortable sexual power play fantasies, like the idea of using these women as human toilets. Of course, this is not limited to the popular destination Dubai. During these shit-faced parties, these beautiful women are required to partake in unimaginable and downright degrading activities like being shitted and peed on directly into their mouths. These models often put themselves through these situations for cash, material things, luxury treatments, and experiences. An anonymous Instagram model said, "Rich men in Dubai are paying girls to do this. It is disgusting, and they all seem to have the same strange desire." However, it is important to remember that this is just a generalization. A user from Dubai, who considers himself wealthy, clarified that he is not interested in such things, and this kind of obsession is not common in the country. It is not unexpected that attractive and young women are leveraging their natural talents to explore the world and generate considerable earnings each night. One particular industry where women frequently outperform men in terms of income is the adult film industry. Moreover, it is widely known that Dubai has emerged as a significant center for sex tourism on a global level. Despite sex work being illegal in all UAE municipalities, Dubai has long been plagued by accusations of being connected to the transportation of sex workers and trafficking of women. This illicit activity has arguably played a great role in making Dubai a preferred destination for sex tourism in the Gulf region. The clandestine nature of these operations raises serious concerns and poses challenges for local authorities in combating such activities. It is pretty easy to observe how Western women will supposedly degrade moral values just to make a few dollars off a wealthy Arab man or any other national residing in the UAE. All you have to do is search on Instagram for the sexiest girl you can find, and then you invite her to Dubai for a paid vacation for a reported $30,000 so she can brag about it to her devoted followers. Then you decide what she does in return. In Dubai, several women have bravely come forward to talk about their terrible experiences with porta potties. They say they were tricked into getting involved in a troubling business where they had to eat human waste to make money. Some of these women claim they were forced into engaging in sexual activities with people who urinated on them, all for cash. It is shocking to hear that there are also distressing claims about these women being involved with animals. One specific woman from Nigeria shared her story of how she was deceived into this situation. She was promised $18,000, but she ended up receiving only $5,700 because she couldn't bear to go through with all the sexual encounters. She met a woman on Facebook who seemed to have an exciting life in the city. They became close online, and the women suggested a way to make money by having intimate encounters with people for payment. Despite her financial struggles, the victim trusted the woman's promise to help with expenses and repay her later. On the day of their trip, the woman took her to a man's house instead of a hotel. She realized the woman had brought her there to meet him. That night, her friend left with the man's friend, leaving her alone with the Arab man. The situation turned into a nightmare when the man forced her into sexual acts against her will. He threatened to take away her money if she didn't comply, and subjected her to humiliating and painful experiences. This included being tied to the bed, performing explicit acts, and even being coerced to interact with a dog. The distressing encounter has left her with both physical and emotional scars that still affect her deeply. Apart from the act of using the ladies' mouths as a place of toilet business, the men would make these women sleep together with camels and dogs in a very dirty environment. The women would later on go back to their country and live their flashy lives. In most of these cases, women are the most desired by the wealthy. The women are allowed to set their own hours, prices, and service offers, and there are no admission criteria. The pay is compulsory above 5 figures, who are most of the time upcoming influencers or supermodels. The majority, who are women that participate in this act, do so because they have been promised presents or money, but mostly money. These females are either from low-income families or are yearning to become rich. It has been argued that no amount of money is enough to make anyone do such unpleasant acts. Based on how people reacted, many were shocked to discover that Dubai has become a place where such terrible activities occur. However, it is not entirely surprising because Dubai has been linked to sex work, including illegal activities like trafficking women and transporting sex workers regularly. Even though there are laws against these activities, they have not been successful in completely stopping them from happening. This means that the problem is ongoing and needs more attention to be effectively addressed. Various revelations have surfaced regarding a disturbing issue, and they all trace back to a TikTok user named Shanifar, who shared a video of an anonymous 26-year-old woman. In the video, the woman recounts a horrifying story about her contractual obligations, which were based on a contract she received from a wealthy man in Dubai. The man, who identified himself as Sultan Ali, promised to pay her a total of $25,000 up front and the same amount again once she fulfilled her contractual duties. The subsequent clips that emerged were equally appalling, as many others came forward to discuss the matter. After the cases were brought alight on different social media platforms, videos of the disturbing acts quickly became popular all over the internet. What was shown in these videos was far from ordinary or acceptable. However, it is essential to know that those clips were only a small part of the shocking things happening at these parties. The videos are so distressing that they are hard to describe, but they can be found on various social media sites, especially Twitter, and some even have been censored on TikTok. Imagine if sex work is already dangerous in many countries, but now think about countries with shocking human rights abuses, where powerful clients and women are forced to sign non-disclosure agreements. These men will go to great lengths to protect themselves, and the situation becomes even more concerning. Consider this scenario. A girl involved in sex work might face unimaginable risks and difficulties if she gets into trouble. The people exploiting her may raise any evidence or traces, making it challenging for her to seek help. Even if she experiences something as horrific as rape, going to the police may not be an option because those involved are protected by their status or connections. Take the example of Dubai, where women can be imprisoned if they are involved in a relationship outside of an officially recognized marriage. So if a woman is raped, she might end up in jail because it will be blamed on her for having sex with a married man. This is absurd and unjust, but it is a harsh reality that we must be aware of. Sometimes, you may see images of glamorous and lavish lifestyles in Dubai, but we should not assume that everything is perfect for everyone. There are many beautiful and successful women, including those from Emirates and flight attendants, who may be living a seemingly luxurious life, but it doesn't mean they are exempt from risks and challenges faced by others in such situations.
So, nasty shit. Nasty shit that people are involved in nowadays, don't you think? For money. Like the guy said, Shorty already had a job as a flight attendant and traveling the world for free. You could be taking the same exact pictures without doing the shit that you did. Or should I say ate. But like I said, the buck doesn't stop there. Little tidbit here. I mean, this doesn't really connect to him, but it does in a sense. This was pretty weird. So, it says 3 women, 1 man charged in child porn and bestiality ring. Now, read this here though. I didn't know there was a big crossover between those two. I always assumed they were quite separate. One of them, Bird Dickens, was in Degrassi High. If you don't remember Degrassi, Drake was in the show Degrassi. Now, there was an actual article on it, of course. Former Degrassi High actor pleads guilty to child porn charges. Says Jason Bird Dickens, seen in Toronto police, photo on the left, and Scott Smith in Degrassi High, pleaded guilty to child porn charges in Toronto on Tuesday. Former warning, graphic content follows. A former Degrassi High actor pleaded guilty to 5 child pornography-related charges Tuesday, admitting that he not only possessed thousands of X-rated images and videos involving children, but that he had recorded to himself. Thank you. everybody for getting to this point. Jason Dickens said in a nearly empty Ontario Court of Justice courtroom. Dickens' wife, Dylan McEwen, is already serving a 6-year sentence after pleading guilty in June to making and possessing child pornography, sexual assault, and counseling for a sexual purpose a person under 16 years to touch her with an object. Says here the couple who met on a bondage website in 2004 were active members of the BDSM community and openly practiced a consensual master-slave relationship, which they formalized with a collaring ceremony. Crown attorney Jennifer Gibson said, reading from an 8-page agreed statement of facts. They married in 2008 and he was 36 when she was 22. Ugh. Nasty nigga. Dickens was employed as a rigging gaffer in the film and TV industry, and McEwen ran a massage therapy clinic in Toronto's West End. The US-based search engine Google became aware of suspected child pornography uploads from 2 email addresses later found to belong to Dickens, according to a judge's written reasons in McEwen's case. Of course, we have to read the rest of that. It's over 25,000 child porn images and over 111 fucking videos. These nasty sons of bitches. On top of course, the bestiality. Of course, if you don't know what bestiality is unfortunately fucking animals. Y'all are some nasty motherfuckers. Shout out to Frequencies Are Forever Famous, who has just subscribed a few seconds ago. I appreciate you. Also, Paul Vivian, I meant to shout you out also. Thank y'all for tuning in. We have 103 viewers up in here. I appreciate and love every last one of y'all for tuning in. I'm small time. And but yeah, that was a crazy tidbit that someone that was related from a show that Drake was on, Degrassi, was also involved in child pornography and unfortunately bestiality. Another tidbit, speaking of child porn, or should I say little girls, there was something that the Mole had put out about Miss Mariska Hargitay. I'm saying that right. I think it's Hargitay. You gotta tell me. So, better humans have left far more valuable things, and the process remains the same. You gotta call, email, or text about lost items. Either pick up, shipment, or a disposal is arranged. Excuse me. As you see here, it says Mariska McCarthy. And like I said, it's a very blind item, of course, with a barcode on it, and Mariska McCarthy, but it looks like almost like a name tag. Like you went to the police about something. So, ironically enough, she plays a police officer on the SVU show. But what was disturbing about that, what was disturbing about Mariska Hargitay's name involving in this, was around the same time the year, April. So let me see something real quick. Was he there too? No. Okay, so yeah, good thing. But not too far from the Mark Hotel was someone that Mariska Hargitay had actually seen. So she actually had stumbled upon a little girl just wandering around, right? It says here, Mariska Hargitay halts SVU filming to help lost child who confused her for police. It says actress Mariska Hargitay recently took her role as Detective Olivia Benson on Law & Order Special Victims Unit a step further in real life, helping, get this, a lost child who mistook her for a real police officer. and reunited her with her mother, a witness told People magazine. According to the report, while shooting SVU on April 10th, Agate halted a production at Ann Loftus Playground in Fort Tryon Park for 20 minutes while she helped a lost child who approached her in costume as a member of law enforcement with badge. The child did not notice the film crew or see the partner, Ice-T. So a little girl just walks up on the set, says, "Hey, I'm lost," and it's down the river from the Mark Hotel. Hold on. Do. 2. Now, it's only 20 minutes by car. So I'm wondering if she was just dropped off somewhere. Being at the Mark Hotel is only 20 minutes from there. That's what it sounds like to me. Allegedly, of course. Allegedly. But that was an interesting blind item that the Mole put out of her name, and that she just happened to find a lost child not far from the Mark Hotel. And I wondered what he was actually getting at with that. So our next tidbit here. What should we get into here? There's a couple of things. There's one. Well, I should say one other thing I need to get into before we do Mr. Alvarez. Oh, that's right. The list of people that he wanted to get into accusations. I should say he wanted the media to start following. Which this was pretty crazy here as well. So here's a list of people the wannabe rapper's friends wants the media to report on in case the coverage of his forthcoming lawsuits and trial gets too embarrassing. This list and the sex crimes they have been accused of landed on the news desks of some journalists this week. They can't control international press, so offering up tea on local names in those territories minimizes the coverage of his trials there. Primarily Africa and the UK were where he used to have fans. The British male West DJ who moved his ring to Nigeria. That one is Tim Westwood. So, if you guys don't remember, Tim Westwood is a pretty much, I want to say, super fan of Drake. They did a series of interviews, at least about, I will say Drake has done at least 3 or 4 different Tim Westwood interviews, but this would be the very first time that he sat down with
YouTube.com/Tim Westwood TV.
Awkward,
Now, you specialize in fine-looking women. Specialize in that.
I like the way you put that.
Yeah.
I like to think I have good taste.
Yeah, and you speak to the women.
I
You
try.
speak to them heartfelt. They can relate to what you say.
Try.
I mean, but you make them work as well.
Yeah.
Like the practice video.
Yes.
You made them work.
You like that?
Oh, my days.
Yeah.
I've done a practice video.
Have you really?
Yes. Would you like me to show you, and then you could push me on this couch?
Please. I thought you mean like you had a girl, or you've just been doing it. Okay.
Would you like to see it?
I guess. Are you gonna do it live?
No, it's all right. Okay. Now,
I'm just as confused at how he paused and didn't just say no there. I just want to say that.
Is that where this is going?
did you watch all the practice videos? personally?
Actually, I did. And if you noticed last night, we assembled kind of a smorgasbord, if you will.
A smorgasbord
of the
booty.
best, of the best, of the best.
I recognize some of that
from
arse.
all over.
Oh, no,
yeah,
I
a lot.
recognize.
Actually, a couple
I
of them are
recognize some
from.
of those.
Definitely
I recognize
from.
some of that arse.
Definitely, you got
I
to.
personally
man.
recognized
I'm
it.
sure.
Seen it before.
Yeah, no, I'm sure you've
Yes.
dabbled in the best of the best out here. I can only imagine.
Only in my imagination. It's all about big booty.
For me, I mean, you know, I hate going to the gym and doing cardio. It's my least favorite thing.
Right.
So I try and get it elsewhere. With that being said, I like to work.
With that being said, the fact that he doesn't like doing cardio, if you don't know, cardio is working out your, abs. I guess that would explain why someone got Ozempic, doesn't it?
Work a little bit.
Exactly.
You know what I'm talking about? So I need some shape there just so I could really get some
for the cushion for the push.
Some good work in.
Exactly.
You know?
And
I'm not a fan of the bike or the treadmill, so I try and get it in on the bed mill.
Exactly.
You know what I'm
the
saying?
Bedroom Olympics.
The bed mill.
Exactly. The bed mill or the booty mill, to be quite precise, because it might not be in the bedroom.
Right.
The
You could
booty
be
mill.
anywhere, but
you like to ride the booty mill and do some cardio on that.
I do.
Booty above rack.
I'm just like a big anything kind of guy.
Oh, big rack.
I almost like women that look like they've been drawn. That's how I describe it, like cartoonish.
Okay.
Almost.
And what is too big?
I don't know yet.
You've not experienced too big?
Not yet.
Okay.
I mean, I don't. I got love for everybody. I find beauty in
Yes.
So, but I don't know if there's a too big for me. I'm always up for. I'm always up for a challenge.
That would be putting the treadmill on an incline.
Yeah. I mean, it's just more work for me, which always pays off in the end.
So, interesting enough, Tim Westwood was actually involved in his own accusations. So, apparently, Tim Westwood runs his own ring in Nigeria and has also been accused of child predator.
Early in the morning. Disgusting, Nancy predator who is guilty of every single thing that he has been accused of. Allegedly. Allegedly. In my humble opinion, I think you're a disgusting nonce. You're a disgusting predator who targets women, specifically black women, for your little fetish. You beg to be part of the culture, but you're not. All you are is a gatekeeper, just like Diddy. All you are is the UK's version of a gatekeeper, someone who people have to go through you to get their opportunities. But the reality is, you fled now. You fled to Nigeria because you know they're after you. And where did you fly to? You flew to a predominantly black country. So you can do what? So you can continue your nasty operations with people over there. You're disgusting. So guys, before I start ranting, let me just explain the context. Timmy Noncewood, yeah dog, I love you baby, yeah dog. Timmy Noncewood has removed my video that I did a few weeks ago, for a defamation of character, defamation complaint. Now this ain't the first time he's done this. Because I'm the realest on YouTube, I've been exposing Tim Westwood for years. Years and years and years ago, about 2-3 years ago, I was doing videos all about the accusations against him. And I was saying, bro, this guy's guilty as sin. The guy's always been a weirdo, the guy's always been a wrong'un, the guy's a tramp, he just loves targeting women. All those videos back then, he removed. Every single one. Actually, I think one of them he didn't remove. I ain't gonna say what one that is, because I know my man's gonna be watching all my videos like a fan. Tim, you're a beg. You watch my videos because you're a fan of mine, bro. That's literally what it is, you're a fan. It's funny, because I met you in 2013 and I asked for a selfie back then before I knew what you were. I was 18, it was Iron Napa. But bro, if I see you again, whoa, let me not even talk too much. But if I see you again, I will not be asking for selfies, that's for sure. My man's been removing my videos for ages, defamation of character, and I don't really like that. I don't take kindly to that, Timmy. Noncewood, I don't take kindly to you removing my videos. But you know the good thing about that is that I can then do more videos exposing you further, because you're a predator tramp. Now guys, let me just done the waffling thing and get straight into this video, man. Like the video for me, it takes half a second, makes a massive difference on how the YouTube video performs in the algorithm. Press that subscribe button, it's road to 50k. I can see 50k on the horizon. I've been waiting for years to get there. I'd appreciate if you press that subscribe button. We expose Nancy people like Westwood on this channel. Press the bell to be notified. Subscribers, supporters. Since Diddy Noncewood saw my video once again, most likely him, because he knows I'm on his neck. saw it and he put forward a defamation complaint. So don't try and tell me that Tim Westwood don't know who I am. Yes, he does. He's known who I am for years. I've been doing the same jokes about him for years. I've been cussing him out for years. Ain't no one else doing it. Ain't no one else on this YouTube doing it. Where's the UK rap scene, bro? The UK rap, you know what it is? UK rappers, bro, they are groupies, fam. And I'm not talking all rappers. I like a lot of the rappers in the UK, but a lot of them, they're not trill. They stay silent on Diddy. They stay silent on the Drake allegations. They'll stay silent on Tim Noncewood. Because Tim Noncewood is a gatekeeper. These rappers probably supplied Noncewood with girls and stuff like that. These men are groupies. They don't like to stand for something. Yeah, they'll be rapping all this grease in their lyrics, but they don't walk it when it comes to people who really deserve their hatred. These lot will be rapping about drillings, rapping about people that look like them, rapping about someone that could be their brother and cousin. But when it comes to actually them for the right people, your Noncewoods of the world, your Diddies, they don't want it. They don't want this. They're mute, fam. They're silent. Helen Keller, blind and deaf, bro. You know them ones there. They ain't got nothing to say because these people, they want a feature from Drake. They want a handout from Westwood. They want a bring-in from Diddy. It's pathetic, to be honest. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's absolutely pathetic. But don't worry. That's the reason why I'm here. TJ's here to give you the real. Now, the reason Timmy Noncewood removed my latest video is because I was exposing the fact that he has fled to Nigeria. Of all places, of all the places in the world you flee to, it's Nigeria. That doesn't really help your case, does it, Timmy Noncewood?
Yo, real quick, while I'm editing this year, how can I go on Instagram, and I've seen that Tim Westwood has blocked me, fam? Don't try to tell me Tim don't know who I am. That old ass snake has literally blocked my Instagram. Lucky I've got a burner, so I can see the events he's got going on. And he's actually got some events going on in the UK. Crazy. I think he's got one in Lewisham coming up. Woo-wee! That's only down the road, boy. We might be seeing each other sooner rather than later, Timmy. You blocking me. It's not going to protect you, boy. I'm on your neck.
You've been accused of being a predator when it comes to women as early as 1997, specifically black women. With your weird little fetish. Oh my God. Oh my days, bro. Twerk that. Twerk that, baby. The day Timmy Noncewood is 6 feet under will be a day of celebration. Disrespectfully. Disrespectfully. Yeah, disrespectfully, I hate you, Timmy. I ain't gonna lie. I hate you. I hate what you've done to my community. And I hate the fact that the industry has not really turned its back on you. Everyone's...
So, Tim Westwood is not the only person. Now, of course, let me also clarify something. This blind item here is not necessarily about Drake, but more so about Diddy. So here's a list of people that want to be rappers' friends. We're talking about Diddy here. So this basically, if you notice, think about things here. Until stupid King Combs put out this song, things were rather quiet for Diddy. And now that Drake is basically taking a fall for things, Diddy kind of has Diddy's news gotten a little bit quiet. Until, of course, like I said, his dumbass son. So the next thing, of course, would be the dip producer who wants to keep his crimes against little black girls on the low. So, dip and low would be referring to Diplo.
Diplo's obsession with underage black girls is more terrifying than you think. Diplo's accumulation of hits and producer credits have awarded him many accolades and admiration from fans, but he's now being accused of some pretty disturbing crimes that constitute within the involvement of child exploitation and sexual assault from a multitude of women. The majority of the accusations are coming from black women in particular. With a few lawsuits and counting, Diplo is being accused of pedophilia and handing out STDs like Halloween candy. Suspicions were heightened when popular content creator Quenlin Blackwell shared that she had been living with the producer back in 2020. This immediately urging fans to accuse him of grooming the then teen, which he discovered later down the road wouldn't be too far from the truth. Along with Azealia Banks' shocking revelations of her and Diplo's previous relationship, at this point, Diplo may have to lay low after practically being caught in 4K. So, are all the allegations coincidences? Or are black girls intentionally being targeted by the now notorious DJ? Popular for creating a lane of EDM music that only a select few in the genre have seen the mainstream light of day in, popular producer and DJ Diplo has without a doubt aided in the rise of electronic dance music and has been able to dabble in other genres as well, if not from his solo work, and as part of the 1/3 of his group Major Lazer. What you're probably not familiar with is the stack of allegations the DJ is up against. As if partying with teenage fans wasn't seen as taboo enough, it's without question that being in cahoots with a much younger audience isn't too far out of the ordinary. Unfortunately, Diplo serves to be no different, because in the year of 2020 lawsuits, Twitter threads, phone calls, and text messages were leaked to the press and to us of Diplo's mishaps and tomfoolery. And believe me, when I say that the accusations against the Lean On DJ are more serious than a ping pong match at the Olympics, what makes these accusations stand out from the rest is the pivotal point of interest that has stuck out to many young black girls taking on the roles as conductors behind the exposed Diplo train. One case in specific, and the case that really got the ball rolling, was the mysterious case of Shelly August, a 25-year-old black woman who originally filed a lawsuit against Diplo that accused him of a long list of misconduct, including recording explicit content without her consent, leaking private photos, coercing her into threesomes with other minors, and to make matters even worse, he'd allegedly given her an STD. When Diplo first came across Shelly, it had been through everyone's favorite bird app, Twitter. In the year 2014, when Shelly was just 17 years young. Not recognizing the DJ off the bat, Shelly ignored the fact that the world-famous producer was in fact a world-famous producer. As far as she knew, he was just another average Joe. And quite frankly, Shelly had no idea who this man was. It was later brought to her attention that he had recently collaborated with a fave of hers, Justin Bieber, around that time. Against her better judgment, she gave in and made the ultimate decision to follow Diplo back. Everything was smooth sailing in the beginning with the two, developing a digital friendship that would soon escalate into something much more. It had gotten to a point where Diplo would often beg Shelly to come to his place of residence, in which she'd often have to give him the "boy, you so crazy" script. Over time, he'd eventually get Shelly to a place of comfort and began soliciting nude photos from the minor. It wouldn't be till around 2018 when the two first meet face to face. Shelly, now aged 21, began dating Diplo till the year 2020. And this is where everything hits the fan. Initiating a sexual relationship at this point, Diplo would often record their sexual encounters and even show Shelly videos of his encounters with other women. He'd coerce her into threesomes with girls who looked no older than 16, to which she'd deny, and when she wouldn't go along with his antics, he'd force himself onto her. No longer wanting to be a part of the nonsense, Shelly caught wind of how Diplo was treating her and the unfortunate events that he'd drag her into, and decided to sever ties, which didn't sit well with Diplo, who kept sending her messages after the fact. Fast forward to 2020, Shelly files a lawsuit against her now ex, accusing him of recording explicit material of her without her consent on 2 different occasions, disturbing one, and giving her chlamydia. When she first discovered the disease, she brought it to Diplo's attention, who only got angry and told her that he gets checked more than an adult film star. After the lawsuit was brought to his attention, Diplo began the scare tactics, hiring private investigators to harass Shelly, claiming to know her location, her family, and everything else in between.
So, Diplo, of course, has been trying to dip low, as they say, on his own allegations. But I guess that would be the reason why we haven't heard of him too much over the past couple of years after, his rise to fame as well. So, the next tidbit that would be in this one would be the Band-Aid rapper who is expecting a baby with the Foolish Singer. That one is Nelly. Now, of course, Nelly hasn't necessarily had any accusations as of late, but who's to say that there won't be any coming forth? The Nigerian Bob personality who's trafficking sugar daddies just threw him under the bus. So that one, of course, you guys might not know. Of course, I didn't necessarily know of this person, but the Nigerian Bob personality that they are speaking of Nigerian transgender celebrity is jailed for throwing money into the air as a rare conviction. It says here, Obuja, Nigeria, a popular Nigerian transgender woman was sentenced to 6 months on Friday after a local court convicted her of throwing money into the air, a practice known as spraying. So here, the term spraying in songs, it's referred to throwing money. Though common especially at parties, spraying is illegal in Nigeria. The rare conviction was criticized by many in the West African nation, a deeply conservative country where members of the LGBTQ community are often targeted under a law banning same-sex relations. It is Okanai Idris Olanrewaju, predominantly known as Bob Risky. Bob Risky is a Nigerian social media personality. She's a transgender woman. Bob Risky is also known for her presence on the social media apps Snapchat, TikTok, and Instagram. She went viral on TikTok for creating the Bob Risky dance in 2021. And the next one would be, of course, Drake, the Porta Papi, and we all know his allegations right now. Then we have T.I. Of course, there's the photographer with the glasses who released a book with the shallow singer. That one was in reference to Mr. Terry Richardson, who has a book out with Lady Gaga, the shallow singer. For the second time this week, a civil complaint has been filed against photographer Terry Richardson by a former model who has alleged sexual misconduct. In the filing in the Supreme Court in the state of New York, attorneys in the Karen Bernstein have alleged battery, intentional infliction or emotional distress, and gender-motivated violence. Who's the next person here? The naked and immature singer with the missing wife. That one would be Marcus Houston. Nasty fucker here, I tell you. Nasty fucker here. Waited till she was legal to marry her. Mia Dickey missing claims surfaces as Marcus Houston age difference goes viral. So apparently, this woman was missing prior to Marcus Houston marrying her. In the image caption, Houston's age was 40 and Dickey as 22. It is also stated that the pair allegedly celebrated 3 years of wedding and 10 years of togetherness, making people question if the couple were allegedly together since Dickey was just 12 years old, while Houston was an adult, which means he would have been 30 years old and she would have been just 12 years old. The latest claim also prompted social media users to revisit the missing theories involving Dickey. Back in 2020, Media Takeout, it looks like, news reported that a girl matching the name and image of Dickey was found on the national database for missing teenagers. According to the database, a teenager named Miana Juanita Pinkney was declared missing in Oregon in 2016 when she was 15 years old. Her adoptive parents shared that they believed she fled her Oregon home to visit her biological mother in California. But a screenshot of the database resurfaced. The Twitter user page Christy UK shared the image of the document online. The circumstances of the missing report said Miana's birth mother, Paula Harris, lost parental rights in California. Miana was adopted in California in 2012. Miana ran away from her home in Eugene, Oregon on August 6, 2016. About 8 o'clock a.m., the database continued. It is believed Miana is with or traveling to her birth mother, Paula Harris, or maternal grandmother, Barbara Dotson, in California. Since the previous speculation suggested that Dickie allegedly first appeared in public after her engagement with Houston at 18 years of age. However, the latest theory prompted some people to think that the duo allegedly knew each other from beforehand. Nasty motherfucker. You've been dating her since she was 12 years. You've been grooming her, excuse me. You've been grooming her since she was 12 years old. And married her when she turned 19 years old. So you waited about a year, basically, to get the marriage license. Just nasty work. Just nasty work. Just nasty work here. I don't want to keep going back and forth between the slides. That's what I'm just reading to you guys. So the former president who farts in court because of what his son said about his deceased ex in a recent interview. That one, of course, is about Donald Trump. And what isn't Donald Trump into? We'll just say that. And the Cool Runnings actor who hunted and then groomed trans star named after the Christmas lady. In the A-list Everything in Her Mind. The hitman has been collecting tea for years, and he thinks he can use it to save his boss, of course, Clive Davis. The plan backfired because those journalists already knew about what the people on the list and are going to talk about all of them. So the last one, which was the Cool Runnings star, that one would be Malik Yoba, who said closeted transgender people and men who love a little bit more fluidly have reached out, often using the word brave that comes from a very deep place for a lot of people, he said. Read more. Transgender women said that they were being harassed at a bar. Here's Malik over here for a different accusation, however.
What prompted you to make this Instagram post in the first place?
I knew that I'd been working on a workshop called Love and Trauma, the Trans Experience, that was going to be in association with the Trans Visibility March on DC. And I was trying to get some attention. And so I intentionally, well, actually, the order of events was I saw a video of a young man, which many people saw, Maurice Willoughby. And I knew the backstory, that he was a young man who was dating a transgender woman. I knew that he had some drug abuse issues. I knew he had some abuse issues with the girlfriend. But in the video, you see him be bullied, and it had circulated, and people thought that this kid, committed suicide because he was being bullied, directly related to his dating a trans woman. So that was part of the story. The other part of the story for me was when I saw that kid in the video, I thought of myself. At that age, I was someone who was also curious about what's going on with transgender people, women and specifically. And so I thought that I would post a video and make a comment around why is it that it's okay for us to record bullying each other? Why is it okay for us to disregard each other because of our choices? And I thought that I should make a comment about it. And I know that a lot of this conversation about black men and trans women also sort of extends into who is murdering these people, right?
So apparently, this is also a video where he was asked something and walked out.
Who cisgender could ever place themselves in a trans person's position?
I think we can, because I had to do it on New York Undercover. So on New York Undercover, we did an episode where people were killing transgender people. So we actually had to dress and go into the world.
That's fiction, though. That's not real life.
No, but you're missing my point. You're making your point. The point that I'm making is that you asked me, what does it feel like to stand up in the face of this? And I'm telling you that if I'm this, and someone's calling me this, that is akin to a transgender woman being called a man.
Do you really make that comparison?
I do. You may not make it, but I'm making the comparison because I sat in it. I know what it's like for people to try to yell at me and tell me I'm gay, to tell me that I'm a pedophile, to tell me what I'm not. And I have to stand up to that. And the only thing that I can do is stand up with the truth. And so when you feel that pain...
Did anyone catch him almost say to stand up for that and not to that?
Where people were killing transgender people. So we actually had to dress and go into the world.
That's fiction, though. That's not real life.
No, but you're missing my point. You're making your point. The point that I'm making is that you asked me, what does it feel like to stand up in the face of this? And I'm telling you that if I'm this, and someone's calling me this, that is akin to a transgender woman being called a man.
Do you really make that comparison?
I do. You may not make it, but I'm making the comparison because I sat in it. I know what it's like for people to try to yell at me and tell me I'm gay, to tell me that I'm a pedophile, to tell me what I'm not. And I have to stand up to that. And the only thing that I can do is stand up with the truth. And so when you feel that pain, when you walk down the street and people are basically saying, fuck you, and you still move on your purpose, that's empowering. As painful as it is, it's also empowering. And so when I talk to my transgender friends and they have people tell them what they're not, when they're telling you that they are, that's painful for them too. So if I'm gonna be the person, the first one to stand up and take the hits, I know what it feels like. And I feel I have the right to say, yes, as I stand alongside you, I do understand your pain, not on an intellectual level, but on an experiential level. I was walking down the street the other day and someone said, happy birthday, AIDS victim. They screamed that out a window to me. I lost work because of this, just like trans people. I have people look at me sideways, just like trans people. I have people calling me gay, just like trans people. So I have the right to tell you exactly how it feels if I choose to stand up with these folks that I love and appreciate and consider part of my humanity.
Okay.
And I can tell you what it feels like.
I understand. So moving forward with this, to kind of rally up, fill out the rest of these questions before we move forward. Since this allegation, too, if you search your name on social media, some sex workers have come forward saying that you've long solicited sex from trans women, and because of this, you've been criticizing for fetishizing trans women and not having intimate and loving relationships with them. So what would you say to that?
I don't know what you're talking about.
So we've gone on social media and we found people who have said this, and so...
So social media now is the truth. That's the
people who have
repository.
faces,
Yeah.
their faces on it. So we were just asking if you had anything to say about that. Okay, so going on to, what do you say to trans black women who say that you're centering yourself and that you're being opportunistic and focusing on your attraction as opposed to their issues and without proving that you're ready to do the work? So what would you say to that?
So you and I sat for 4 hours the other day.
Correct.
And we decided how we were going to approach this.
We decided
how we were going to approach this, bro.
We went through a number of questions.
We decided how we were going to approach this.
And we said actually recording, and the more you talk, the better, the worse it looks for you. So what I'm asking is that we're having a conversation.
What did you say?
I said the more that we're talking, the more I'm just concerned. So I'm generally concerned. I said that the more that it looks bad for you. That's
really?
what I'm saying. Yes, sir.
This looks bad for me.
Yes, because I'm asking you a number of questions.
We're done, bro.
Okay.
We're done. It looks bad for me because I chose to come here and speak to you about what you do and what I've done. It looks bad for me. It's a setup. I don't like this.
Okay.
We said that we were going to focus on policy
And we
We
did,
said
and we
so our
also, and
focus on
we also,
community.
and we
And you
also
stand on
said,
allegations,
and we,
homie.
and
I
we
don't
also
appreciate this
said,
at all.
and no, we had a
No,
conversation
I
about
don't
a wide
appreciate
range
this
of
shit
things.
at all, homie.
Questions did feel like they
I don't. This is not what we fucking discussed for 4 fucking hours. You want to stay on allegations, homie? The fuck is wrong with you?
It started to just.
The fuck is wrong with you?
There
We
are.
sat for 4
Yeah,
fucking hours.
we did
We
sit-
sat for
we
4
sit-
fucking hours.
We did sit for hours.
We sat for 4 fucking hours. And you gonna stand some fucking allegations? Fuck you. The fuck is wrong with you? This is my fucking life. The fuck is wrong with you?
In quotes of R. Kelly.
Yo.
I have your stuff. I have your stuff. Can you guys not? This is like.
That's fucked up, man.
We have like.
The fuck is wrong with you, man? We fucking sat for 4 hours.
All right, bro.
Don't tell me shit. Don't tell me about this. This isn't professional. This is life.
His intention is not to antagonize you. We're trying to.
No, we discussed the process. We said we would start. No.
We can talk about it. Let's bring it.
No, my man.
Just so we had an office setting, nobody's here to hurt you
Listen.
or argue with you. Express
No.
yourself, but let's keep it professional.
Listen, you're not the one being called names in the street.
But he's not trying to call you.
We're not.
We discussed how we would flow. We said we would start with policy. We said we would talk about community, and then we said we would talk about our personal lives. We said we would do 20 minutes, 20 minutes, 20 minutes. You stayed on the allegations, B. I want the cards. You can't use any of it. There's no release your signs. I want the fucking cards out of all these cameras.
So, needless to say, Malik Yoba got very defensive about his allegations with young women and transgenders. So yeah, moving along. Speaking of child allegations, one of the other blind items had linked to someone finding a website that looked like it was to purchase children on as well. If that doesn't tell you something, well, I don't know what else will, to be honest with you.
Kendrick said about Weinstein, about some app.
Oh my goodness gracious. Unc, you did it. You did it. You got me on a rabbit hole this morning, and he is on to something. He goes on to talk about that he went on to the person that is claimed to be Drake's long lost daughter, whatever, Instagram page, and there's a link to this talent agency, and basically said that he got an unsettling feeling when he was just like looking at the page, and so encouraged people to go look at it. And so I did, and oh my gosh, something fishy is definitely going on. This rap beef got me doing real journalistic work. This is insane, but nah, y'all gotta really tap into this. This is some sus. Okay, first of all, when we go on the Instagram, there's just these pictures of like a bunch of these kids. They have about like 1,000 followers in the account. Then I started to click on some of the pictures where the kids were tagged or whatever, go to their page, and some of them didn't have them as like in their bio as like the talent manager, but like whatever. Let's say it's like probably 50-50. But then there's also just like a lot of weird activity on the page. Like, for instance, you can't comment on anything, right? The comments are limited. I started to notice that every single post had a congratulations from like some of the kids that are claimed to be, you know, in the thing. Obviously some of these accounts, like some of these kids are like 4 or 5 and like maybe their parents would run them, right? Like whatever, right? But if you go to the likes, there's like 65-ish likes on every single one, and it's every single one of the so-called, child stars. You'll notice on the post that Jack Hart and Jana Hart are the ones that you see just very often on every single thing. But there's other ones too that are just mainstays, right? So, it's just not like, it's not a normal thing for a kid to just say congratulations every single time on a post. Like, people don't do that. Well, why would you limit the comments on a child agency page? Like, why wouldn't you, that doesn't sit right with me. So when I typed in EAA, agency on Google, it was kind of hard to find at first. I had to type in the exact, domain from the email I saw in their bio. But this is what their like homepage looks like. It's a very simple website. There's not really much about anything. But it does have information regarding like the owners and like the CEO, whatever. which I did do some digging on her as well. I didn't really find too much, but I did find some interesting things, but mostly reach a dead end. I just think Exclusive Artists Agency is just an odd name for a children's talent agency for actors. I don't know. Now, where is this based out of? Calabasas, LA. Interesting. Literally, this is their whole website, right? This is the homepage that I just showed you, which is just their logo. Our team, which it tells you like their CEO and stuff. I'm not going to go into that one. And then contact, which is just like a lead form sheet, like a contact sheet. Nothing else. I encourage you to go check out their Instagram page and just look around and see if you can find anything else. I really went on a really deep dive. I went on the CEO's LinkedIn and found some history, and I'm going to do a little more digging because this is something that's kind of like, I don't know. This is going to be kind of different. I don't usually do like this, but Unc was on to something, bro. I don't know something weird is going on here.
Now, of course, I'm not going to get into that right now because we'll be here for another 3 hours with the shit that I found, of course. So I'm just going to show you the part 2, and that will tell you what we're going to be getting into possibly in our next video or next pod.
All right, guys, we're back. We done.
Because what he found was
yes,
some
I say
shit.
we. First, I want to give a shout out to anyone who shouted me out some information. A lot of it was helpful. I really do appreciate that. You guys restored my faith in humanity, which I was gonna need some after everything that I endured last night. Really, all of yesterday. You can see the giant bags under my eyes. Shout out to Neil Bog, the Goblin, my homie. She's my partner in crime during this. You'll hear her voice during this as well. The owner does not have Instagram anymore. I saw her tagged on other people's stories, so we found a lot though. Some of the things that we're gonna see are gonna be hard to see. I haven't cried in about 2 years. I cried about 9 to 10 times yesterday. Some very heavy, dark things.
So, disclaimer also, because I did watch this. Disclaimer for all those who are out there who might be affected by what you're about to hear. Because, like I said, the rabbit hole does get very deep as far as the whole Pizzagate and the child trafficking ring goes.
Don't know what to make of everything, but I think we've connected a few dots. So let's dive into it. I want to start with something I thought was pretty interesting. I went back to looking for the people that work there. Jade Spilka, Bailey Harrison. I found both of them. The owner does not have Instagram anymore. I saw her tagged on other people's stories, so she had it in the past, but she deactivated and deleted it. It's not there anymore. Okay, Bailey Harrison, Jade Spilka. Lori Rosa, can find her on anything. These two, though, I was able to find on Instagram. Interestingly enough, Jade Spilka's bio says this. You know, they say they hide the truth in plain sight. Sure, it could be a complete stretch. I mean, I don't think it's actually that person, but like, it's just like, Okay, Jade Spilka. My old account Beyonce got hacked at. Oh, interesting. However, we must go onward because we have a lot of information and not a whole lot of time. Now, I wasn't going to hit up anyone on that little kids page, but this is the Exclusive Artist Agency adult page that I found. Still very weird. They do things like this on this page, right? If you're an agency that's trying to pro out and say congrats on these different, bookings that these guys got, wouldn't you say what it is if you were trying to, talk about your status or prove how good of an agency you are or attract new business or, you would say in this show or this network or, But most of them are just like this. Amy, congrats on your episodic booking. Congrats on your Hulu show. Congrats on your episodic booking. Just why wouldn't you say the actual thing? And by the way, on this page, remember that little kid, that I showed on the last one that was commenting congratulations on every single one? They're doing the same thing on this one too. It's mad weird. And if they are booking all of these, things for these people, they have all these clients, right? It doesn't make sense because why would you have this poor of a social media manager? First of all, no website that doesn't work. But you got in all this business? Right. Now let's just think about how many people in the industry have admitted to being sex workers in the past.
Right. So, if you don't understand what you're watching right now, it's basically him breaking down the agency that is an exclusive artist agency that has basically been commenting on this website for children that were for adoption, that were put up for adoption, or also going to be child stars as well. And it looked like there was this exclusive artist agency that was just commenting on all of the pictures, but it was more of generic comments at that, as if they were just watching them. They were just watching them and then picking them randomly later on. So we'll let him continue from here.
Right? Channing Tatum, right? Lady Gaga, right? Brad Pitt, right? Yeah, the list goes on. Look it up yourself, right? Maybe that's what's going on here. Maybe this is a menu. I don't know, right? I did try to contact one of these people, because obviously I wasn't going to try to contact one of those kids' pages, because that's weird. This girl had not a very large following. She looked kind of like she didn't have a lot of engagement, so I feel like she would answer me back. I've ended up following like 3 different people, right? One was like a older teenager on the kids page, and then a young African American kid. Every person that I followed on these 2 accounts followed me right back, right? So that's just a little note. So she followed me right back. I said, I saw that you act, and I've been doing research for new agencies to try to get my sister signed to one. Are you still signed, or like still affiliated with Exclusive Artist Agency? No response. She took a while to read it. She didn't like read it right away like she did the first one, but when she did, no response. Maybe I didn't say the code word. Maybe I didn't, knock 3 times or do the little. Yeah, all right. So dead end there. Where do we go next?
Instagram profiles, and then when I looked under his comments, it was either they were mostly from other like children from the page, but there was one photographer that kept commenting and stuff, and so I clicked on his profile, and that's where I saw all the other kids.
So this photographer was allowed to comment. Comments are restricted. Okay, we're getting somewhere a little bit, and let's go to his page. I mean, personally, in my personal opinion, just taking pictures of children, like, is a little weird, isn't it? Like, just children, like, just portraits of children. I mean, I guess people do it. I don't know, whatever, right? Now, I did notice when I was on here, right? When I went to these other kids, like, all these kids' pages, right? I checked them out, and a lot of them had, like, same thing as the agency, right? Just other kids commenting on it, like, didn't really make sense. Some of them didn't have, like, some of them, I remember I saw one, there was a small Asian child. He had his measurements, like his dimensions in the bio, and then said managed by mom, and then, like, represented by agencies. Just agencies. There's no, like, tagged agency or, like, just agencies. Okay.
Having your dimensions in the bio, like your measurements and your height and everything like that, that's kind of weird, because it sounds almost like Ava Baroni when Diddy was advertising her on his Instagram Live a year ago, or should I say 2 years ago. Remember, she started saying her age and everything like that, and her height, and like she was a Scorpio, and like she had to emphasize what her ASL and everything like that. That is kind of fucking weird that a little kid has his dimensions and things like that on there.
Now, I noticed this picture to the left of me right here. Like, it was weird because, like, it just looks like, I'm not going to go in and go to both because it's like a double swipe, but it looks like it's taken on like an iPhone camera. And there's like more of this little girl that looked like we're taking on an iPhone camera. So I went in deeper to her page. Blocked out the username so you guys don't go curse him out. But it's her dad and then her brothers. Right, and her brother's pictures on, so the pictures on her page, first of all, there's way too many pictures. There's way too many pictures. It's very weird. There's a lot like poolside and bikinis and like the other ones in like spandex workout like little things. It's weird, bro. It's weird. Very, very, very weird. And on the boys' page, it's the same thing, right? They're supposed to be surfers, whatever, but like their shirts out just like all the time, which is not that crazy because like I kind of, when I was growing up, me and my brother kind of always had our shirts off, like we were chilling in the house. But anyway. Right? What's weird is, okay, this photographer's in LA,
these people are from Australia. Okay. I looked on their page, scrolled down far. It seems like they kind of go back and forth like every now and then, like whatever. Like decently often for it being a pretty long flight, but
So remember Australia when we looked at Epstein's little black book, and I kept saying Australia is oddly in here quite often. It was New York, London, and Australia were the three frequent places that we saw in that little black book. So every time that he keeps saying that he saw that there's a group and a list of them, you heard that, right? I'm gonna run it back for you. He says there was a group of them that's been going back to Australia quite often.
so like we were chilling in the house. But anyway, right? What's weird is, okay, this photographer's in LA. These people are from Australia. Okay. I looked on their page, scrolled down far. It seems like they kind of go back and forth like every now and then, like whatever. Like decently often for it being a pretty long flight. But now the girl who helped with a lot of this, she was digging to try to see if there was any connection between maybe Drake had some holdings or something like that and some companies in Australia. And she came across a video of Millie Bobby Brown talking about how when she was in Australia, her and Drake went out to dinner and they had dinner together in Australia. Okay, interesting. A reach? Maybe, sure. I started to notice a lot of Nickelodeon connections. I went back to the
Rasclot. That one makes a lot of sense though. On top of when we saw Drake's 20 shell companies, one of them was actually listed in Australia on top of the Entrada travel group that he owns. We also saw the agency he also owns.
Adult agency page, and this guy, whose name is Melvin Ward, right? Melvin Ward is a dad, I guess, because someone in the comments commented, "Congratulations, Dad." And she's on Nickelodeon. And her name is Brianna Walker. Maybe it's her stepdad, I don't know. Maybe she took her mom's name, I don't know. Right, that's not my business. But another Nickelodeon connection, okay. Now there's actually way more, there's like 5 more. If not, actually there's probably more than that, if I'm being honest, from what I saw. There's actually quite a bit. Lily Loud, account managed by mom. She's on the Really Loud House. Comes on tonight if you want to watch it. Psych, you should never watch Nickelodeon, and neither should your children. Anyway, let's keep going. We don't have that much time left. This is mom. Actor, okay. Do you think there's anything wrong with this? I had to blur it out because the baby's completely naked. Do you think?
There's a lot fucking wrong with both of those pictures. And this is again what people were talking about with the whole, these pictures are more like advertisements of the kids. So it's like, are y'all advertising these kids to get trafficked and bought? Cause that's sure what the fuck it seems like, that y'all doing this nasty shit.
There's anything wrong with this? Brace yourself. Spicing things up and include your little for a family naked playdate. Yeah, there were so many things that we found, like there's just so much to cover. I had an epiphany while I was washing dishes. What connection could Drake possibly have to Nickelodeon? Degrassi. Did it originally air on Nickelodeon? Boom. In 2002, Degrassi The Next Generation aired on the N, right? The next.
There's that fucking Degrassi connection again. Remember earlier when we discussed about the beard guy, basically, the Bird, the gentleman named, I think it was Bird, that was on Degrassi High, and he got caught for child pornography. He had, 111 videos of child porn and 25,000 photos? Plus bestiality, he was involved in a ring. If you ask me, that Degrassi connection is starting to get a little bit close to Mr. Aubrey Graham. Just for the simple fact that not just the show, but the fact that someone connected to that show had over 25,000 photos and 111 videos. That literally sounds like you were the holder or the inventory for whoever you are working for within that ring. That's what that sounds like. So now that we gotten that part out, right? Because like I said, we would be here another 3-4 hours if I was to do a breakdown of the child ring in Pizzagate. We're going to save that one for another time. What I really want to get into now is this new video that he's put out. Or should I say, before we do the video, Christopher Alvarez. The new pictures that he put out, of Christopher Alvarez. So if you don't remember, Christopher Alvarez was the gentleman from the cover. So here we have the picture of him and Drake in 2017. Now, what stuck out, the first thing that fucking stuck out to me with this is the fact that where Drake's arm is, if you look close. Now, I'm saying to myself, okay, maybe he doesn't want to actually touch Mr. Christopher Alvarez. Maybe he doesn't want to touch the chair or something like that. But then I looked around his wrist area and noticed how deformed it looked. If you look close at the actual wrist area, right? I'm gonna bring it up a little bit for you guys. Let me show you guys real quick. So if you look close here at the actual arm of the picture, you can pretty much tell how edited this is right here. Especially his hand. Drake's a very rather tall guy. You can see the arms right there. Of course, a little bit bulkier. So look how the wrist kind of like gets edited in here around the picture. On top of, this looks like it was on a street, but you can't tell where it actually was. So the background is actually blurred out completely. Now, what's even more interesting is the different article of clothing that the two are wearing. As you can see here, this is a Photoshop picture clearly from the indication of what the two are actually wearing. One is an indoor wear, the other is in outdoor wear. Also, if you take a close look at it, you can actually see the tint, the different tints in where this picture was actually taken. Now, that's not the oddest thing about the Christopher Alvarez and Drake situation. So, there was a picture taken that was July, was it 22nd or 23rd? And it was about 3 o'clock in the morning. Let's look at that picture again real quick. I should say January 22nd, 2023. Let's take a look at that real quick, right? This was the picture that we looked at that evening. Now, what was crazy about this is that the OVO gentleman in the back with the bags and Christopher Alvarez here. Now I want to zoom in on this picture. So I think we do have it here still. Yeah, Chris Alvarez. Okay, I want to zoom in here because this is going to be very key to what we're doing. This part right here is going to be very key on the zoom in. Let me show you. So this is the zoom in, right, of Christopher Alvarez in the lobby. Right? I'm going to take myself out. Pay very close attention to what you see here. Take a very good look at the entire background where he is. And now look at this next picture that was put out recently, today. If you notice in the background, the same bags are there. Let's revert back to the other picture. Oop, wait a minute. Hold on. I got you guys. So, this is what I was talking about. So, if you look here close, the same bags are there in the picture. The same exact background. Now, once again, I'll show you the other picture. Looks very similar, doesn't it? Let's say we put it about here. And if we look at the extortion picture again, you will notice one in particular difference. The only difference in between the photos is, number one, the indication around the actual photo, number one. Two, this what appears to be edited bruised eye here. We zoom out. It almost appears as if Mr. Alvarez caught a bruised eye here. So let's read. I'm ready to send. I need to know what happens on the tape. Do you have any samples, a preview? This is your Ethereum address, right? An altercation involving Christopher Alvarez. I won't say any more. Send the funds. Can you send me a preview so I know you're telling the truth? That's an Ethereum address, right? Yes. Send the 800,000. This is my last message. I have the money ready to send right now, but I need more proof than this is a short snippet. So, it appears that the mole was trying to purchase the actual footage of what might have happened to Christopher Alvarez. But Christopher Alvarez has now also come out himself and even denies the allegations. So let's revert to the article now, because Christopher Alvarez actually put out an article today describing everything that happened, or so to speak. Oh, where's my website? Nope. Here's my website. Why is my shot's not showing? 1 second, yeah. I wonder why my shot's not showing. Oh, okay. Alright, so here's the article that Christopher Alvarez put out. Now, what you want to really pay attention to here is right here, the Brooklyn Daily Eagle. So, if you guys don't remember, in the other video that we showed that the mole put out, there was a newspaper entitled the Brooklyn Daily Eagle. So everyone pretty much dismissed it as it was just a regular newspaper that the mole was just sitting there with. When in fact, it was an entire article, or should I say, it was a newspaper that was in reference to Chris Alvarez. And real quick, for those that don't remember, this was the Brooklyn Daily Eagle. So, let's think about that, right? He puts out an Easter egg out there, and no one pays attention to this newspaper, right? Now, the reason why I'm emphasizing this is because in the new video we're going to look at in a second, he has a different newspaper, and you'll see what it is in a second. But it looks like now that these newspapers that he's also putting are actual clues and hints to the new footage, or should I say new leaks, that he would have in these new blind items that are linked to Drake himself. So let's read real quick what Mr. Christopher Alvarez has said. Says the Drake Kendrick Lamar social media firestorm that burned one reporter's reputation. Now, we're not going to read the editor's note, because the editor's note pretty much is just describing what led up to everything going on, including the mole leaking information, the 800,000 in the cryptocurrency that we saw there as well. So let's just go down to where Mr. Alvarez has responded himself. Living as a journalist in a post-truth society. So my childhood friend and brother texted me this morning. I tried my best not to say anything about it, not to bother you, but I've seen your name all over the internet all weekend. Sorry you got to deal with all this. The evolution of social media has opened a new era of disinformation, and it poses a critical question. What does a post-truth society mean for journalism? Platforms like Instagram, Twitter, and Reddit in many ways have become fake news factories whose algorithms are routinely gamed for personal pleasure, income, or political persuasion. It has come to a point where it is no longer sufficient for a journalist to simply exist as an esteemed byline. Rather, it is now his job to build audiences by leading an authentic and bold digital life across various social media platforms. I agree. To still be called a reporter. The work of self-representation in social media spaces is certainly time-consuming and frequently challenging given the persuasiveness of cyberbullying. But the seriousness of how social media now governs much of public perception is no joke. This weekend, a video with a screenshot of me that has been viewed more than 8 million times went viral. Once again, I was in the eye of a media storm, this time for the worst. So clickers are going to click, but now it's time for me to introduce myself and clear the air. I am a 26-year-old trapped in a 9-month-old's body. I was born to a Hispanic couple from Colombia. When I was 2 years old, I was diagnosed with the thanatophoric dysplasia type 2, a severe skeletal disorder in which the person affected has a narrow chest, a small rib cage, small limbs, and underdeveloped lungs. Children born with this condition die soon after birth due to respiratory failure. Currently, I am the only one in the world with my disability breaking the lifetime expectancy record with ventilator support via tracheostomy. Yeah, tracheostomy. Tracheostomy, keeping me alive. These physical challenges have shaped the way I communicate with the world around me. My partial hearing loss would make some conversations difficult, and my tracheostomy causes my voice to be rough. But through the years, I have constantly worked on improving my speech by speaking in public and engaging in conversations. My listening skills have also improved with the help of hearing aids. My own struggles with communications and lifetime of conveying my story in a way that people understand and are inspired by have been a driving force as a Latino journalist, one who was prided himself on being open-minded and valuing different perspectives, and experiences with an eye toward telling impactful stories. So let's get down here. So I have had the privilege to meet Drake. I've had the privilege to be with Drake, Kendrick Lamar, and other celebrities who have been very nice to me, but I don't understand where it all got blurred with the fans. So kind of crazy play on words there, because it was all a blur tour as well when this was going on. I can confirm that I was with Drake on the night of January 22nd, 2023, as we saw in the date of the lobby there. So after his NYC concert with 21 Savage, I was called to meet Drizzy at the Mark Hotel, and we had a blast listening to new beats. I am not in the position to talk about his character outside of our meetings, but I can say I was not violated in any way. I want you to take notice in what he says there. I was not violated in any way. So if there was no violation in any way, that means if there was something to happen, it would have been consensual. So growing up in a society that was not meant for me to succeed in, I would never put myself in a position that would further dehumanize the disability community. So according to the CDC, approximately 80% of women and 30% of men with development disabilities have been sexually assaulted, and 1.8% of women with a disability have reported rape in the past year. So another struggle, and to be put in that light has been scary for my other friends in this community. There are rumors that a hotel security guard was also fired for letting me wait outside the hotel instead of letting me out to freeze. I believe this is true, and I feel bad. I'm sorry to him and his family. Good people doing good things out of the kindness of their hearts should not be condemned, and the Mark Hotel should reassess who they put at the top of the chain. The Brooklyn Eagle has reached out to the Mark Hotel for comment and will update with their response. Lately, I have been getting a lot of spam phone calls, texts, emails, and social media messages saying that I am the snitch in this beef, that I accepted hush money from Drake, and that I was somehow in on the plan because I follow underage high school girls. Didn't know that. First, I don't know anything about Drake and Lamar's beef because to me, life is too short to hate, and I don't follow it. Second, I'm a hard-working journalist who holds elected officials and private entities accountable. I don't have rappers on speed dial to be the mole or snitch, so you didn't deny anything about the following the underage girls, as well as two things to know here. So you don't deny. So you're not denying the fact that you were there, right? This is just my hops on this. This is my house on this. As we take a look at this picture again. So you're not denying the fact that, you know, you were there on January 22nd, 2023, right? The biggest thing that stands out to me is the fact that you said you were listening to beats and you had dinner with the man. Who in the fuck do y'all think y'all are fooling? Because who in the fuck has dinner and listened to beats with anybody at 3:20 in the morning? Yeah, I know you're a grown man. And it's after the concert, of course. So I'm thinking, of course, maybe 11, 12 o'clock, maybe. So give or take about that. Maybe 12, 1, 2 in the morning, right? Maybe even 12, 1 or 2, you listen to some beats, right? Almost 3:30 in the morning, you met up with Drake at the Mark Hotel that is, you know, said to be Jeffrey Epstein affiliated. You met Drake at the Mark Hotel at 3 o'clock in the morning to listen to beats. Nigga, do I look stupid to you? I don't think anybody in, you know, all 108 viewers out here, I do not think anybody is fooled by this. Because ain't nothing open at 3 o'clock in the morning except legs, as they say. Let's just be honest here about that one particular thing, okay? Another thing to add, to note, is the fact that you said that you had heard that you got someone fired from there. So let's dissect that real quick, right? You heard that you had gotten someone fired from there. So if we're thinking about you getting someone fired from there, right? Let's think about this as well. Because you had dinner inside the Mark Hotel with Drake, right? Which means you were at Caspia, where they got $35 bagels. I'm paying $35 for a damn bagel. I bet to see you create this bagel from dough to solid bread in front of me. If I'm paying $35 for a bagel, I bet to see Jesus himself come out and create this bread for me before I rub the butter on it. Matter of fact, if I'm paying $35, you better rub the damn butter for me. I'm just being honest. $35 for a bagel? Kiss my ass. Anywho, the Caspia, the Mark Hotel, is where Christopher Alvarez and Drake supposedly had dinner. Not even supposedly now. You confirmed that you met with him there and listened to beats and had dinner there. So, the Mole put out this particular picture on their Instagram. Of course, also letting us know that this picture and this particular night is what changed their life. So, once again, noting the fact that, like I said, they said that someone, that they had gotten fired, right? So let's look at just the rants that were also said from the Mole, right? Because that'll tell us a lot about what we just, you know, were informed on. So there's the logo right there. There's the Petty Time. There's jewelry. There's a new video there. There's a girl that had tried running at Drake while Drake just pretty much just walked by. They were screaming, "Oh, it's not that serious. It's not that serious."
Running at Drake.
Oh, Drake.
But again, it's another night where he's seen going into the hotel. Now, I wonder if that was the actual night that he went into the hotel. But back to January 22nd, of course, in 2023. See here, 1 year, 3 months, 22 days, those were good men. Ever heard of an ebony scandal? Well, welcome to the game. Now notice it says those were good men. So apparently this mole was also confirming all along that the mole was not the one that actually gotten fired from the hotel. So everyone is running around thinking that the mole is the actual employee that got fired from the hotel, that Drake got fired from the hotel, when it actually is not. It is not the mole at all. This mole never worked for the Mark Hotel. May this photo help jog your memory as to where you discarded those items. The issue in the photo should also jog your memory. Jimmy Brooks would not have been proud of you that night. Now, moving forward, of course, because like I said, with the whole Christopher Alvarez thing, my whole thing is you are definitely covering up something. You are definitely covering up something, and it's starting to feel like Drake paid you to do this article for the Brooklyn Eagle. It sounds like, in conclusion to that, that you were paid off to make sure that Drake was not seen in a bad light, or you for that matter. Because if you were to confirm what happened to you, as you even said in your own words, it would frighten your community as well. It would frighten other people that are like you with a disability as well. So for that matter, you chose to take the safe route and not mention this shit at all and say, hey, let me just say, you know what, Drake? Ain't nothing happened that night. Yeah, I did meet you that night. You know what I mean? We did, listen to beats and just chill out, whatever. Why are you just sitting there listening to beats with him and having dinner at 3 o'clock in the morning is the biggest question that has already confirmed your lie. I want to say that. So, to confirm things, of course, so I had sent this picture to myself, but I guess oh, you know what? I'll do that for you guys real quick, because it ain't going to take but a quick second to do that. Because I noticed that the picture was also taken down. As I've been trying to Google that same exact picture that I found earlier. Oh, actually, never mind. There it goes. So apparently, this picture was also taken that same night of him in the wig. And it says freak off going wrong. So, how in the heck does this happen? Christopher Alvarez in what looks like a pigtail wig, with a purple dress on, looking like a little baby. Well, doesn't that put a spin on the rapper's name that you've done a song with? Little Baby. Very disturbing and disgusting is all I want to say. If this is what your fetish is, Drake. Babies with pigtail wigs. Because if you are, like I said, confirming that you met with him that evening, you are also confirming that this picture is real of you. allegedly. And you are also confirming that this gentleman to the left had something to do with you being in a pigtail wig and dress, looking like a baby. Very disturbing, Drake. Needless to say, very disturbing. So, the Mole has been putting out a series of tweets, pretty much almost in a huge rant, right? And of course, this is the footage here of Christopher Alvarez rolling around in the lobby. And this is just him just basically chilling in the lobby with no one there just yet. But it looks like it's also 9 minutes before the OVO gentleman walked in. So, also to note, this is the Panasonic laptop that was said to be, you know, just a regular Panasonic. That someone on Twitter said, "Oh, that's not a tough book. That's just a regular Panasonic." Looks to me like this is definitely a tough book Panasonic. And as we know, the tough books are the military grade ones that pretty much are used to keep a lot of, you know, heavily secret documented information. And for this footage to be on that Panasonic, I want you to think about that as well. Because if this is the quote-unquote said alleged Drake's Panasonic Tough book, it would mean that that is where the footage actually came from in the first place. So then one has to think, if Christopher Alvarez has now confirmed that he was there, why does Drake have footage of this? Why does Drake have footage of Christopher Alvarez entering the lobby that evening? That's something to also think about. Let's see if we can go from where we left off that yesterday. Because apparently he had also, I don't know if this is he or she, apparently they also had said that they were going to be, what do you call it? Threats were basically made to academics and Drake that if they didn't redact what they said about the information being true, that they would let out more information, of course, by 12 o'clock noon today, which it looks like, of course, they have done so and made promise on their word. Also showing the footage of them having the laptop and, you know, Christopher Alvarez, of course. So we looked at the logo here. This is the K logo of the Caspia. It says, "I will never forget this." And it keeps referencing July 27th, 2023. So not just January, which also confirms that this has nothing to do with the employee that was fired. It's also July 27, 23 when Drake actually came back. He stayed at the Mark Hotel yet again. Almost as if he has a residency there. Now, the Mole has put out a new video today. Eagle was in reference to Chris Alvarez because Christopher Alvarez writes for the Daily Eagle. So one now has to think him having another newspaper with being the Wall Street Journal, and there are different captions around there saying investors dial up pressure on firms' earnings, and the big bold print that says brands ditch TV advertising for web as audiences shrink. Almost as if you're trying to say that brands are basically going to ditch Drake because of his affiliations with pedophilia and the underage girls and so on and so forth, which is sort of happening because Drake's stock is now also dwindling and going down because of all these allegations from the Kendrick Lamar beef. So we take something like the Wall Street Journal, we have to only now think about the fact that it's a clue to something else that the mole actually has. Pardon me, I'm parched.
They looking at you too if you standing by him. Keep the family away. I'm looking to shoot through and cover the deal. Keep the family safe.
Now, this was interesting to see here as it is more jewelry that appears to be of Drake's. Now, what it looks like here to me, I'm not too sure what this is, but it looks like Pride jewelry. And if we remember earlier, we looked at him being a part of the House of Ebony back in 2016, and where that was a Pride friendly club. It's earrings and a necklace here. Oh, didn't realize I did that. Didn't realize I did that, sorry.
I'm looking to shoot through and cover the deal. Keep the family safe. Dear baby girl, I'm sorry that your father not active inside your world. Don't be thinking much better. You're not sure. You're not sure. I'm not sure. You're inside it all. Try to story back and longer than taking care of it all. So watch your clothes with you.
Looks like someone's been getting a lot of target practice in as well. Now, of course, it's very hard to make that out, but it looks like there's some sort of nameplate that's also on these beads and chains as well. And like I said, with the different rainbow set, this is definitely something LBGTQ. This is definitely Pride jewelry here, if I'm a guessing man here and a betting man. And I saw it, like I said, that he has been getting target practice as well. Dear Arby, did you really think that this was all about a shirt and some scripts? This is about diamonds. Time for hard truths. Now, this picture here, if you notice, there's the donkey necklaces. This is from the popular jewelry store that Drake had attended. And I remember specifically someone had mentioned that there's another jeweler. Excuse me, so no, this isn't from popular jewelry. I believe this is from the other jeweler that was listed on the first items. Listed on the first video that had the items with the prescription pills and so on and so forth. There was someone there that had made a necklace for him, and this is the dog necklace that was made. But then there's also the female jewelry, and of course we see the beaded jewelry up here again. So is it starting to now, I guess, connect to any truth of him doing the dances for rich people? Especially when we have the female jewelry with the male jewelry. Drake's not necessarily doing his and her activities nowadays. So if this is his stuff, that means this bottom row with the pearl necklace, bracelet, and earrings, it's starting to sound like this is also part of Drake's attire as well. Again, if I had to be a betting man, that's looking very cross-dressers to me. Says, you see, the minute you said stolen, you introduced a dilemma in my world, more specifically my professional world. Lost excuse me. Lost and Found is a well-known and looked forward to perk of hospitality It is an incentive to thoroughly perform your duties in the hopes that one man's trash, negligence, or kind gesture may turn into a treasure for you. And it did for this person. That means it was no secret to my closest colleagues that all of these items were long in my possession. So last Monday, when I finally was shown Meet the Grams in the employee cafeteria, I instantly understood the assignment. So from hearing the employee cafeteria, this is someone that works for PG Lang. This isn't someone that worked for the Mark Hotel, definitely now. This is someone that works for PG Lang specifically. So you see, as a prince, and because of my children, let's go up to the more interesting ones that came out today. Okay, yeah, so I was informed that the statements made by DJ Academics had also been relayed to her, because you know the pocket watchers are always hating. I was informed that I should speak with an attorney, because being associated with items declared stolen may have negative consequences. And then it says, so Mr. Allen likes to make threats publicly, huh? You men were asked for nothing but the truth and refused to do so. And now you think you will harass me? Thanks for letting the world know, idiot. This shall make it abundantly easy to acquire a carry permit now. So apparently someone definitely was doing a lot of target practice and has looked into getting that license to carry. That's how things work in your home country. Not this one, not the land my ancestor built the improvements upon. So this is why it goes not like us. I thought you were all smart. Now, where was I? It's getting petty time, of course, and it says, how long will we as people allow these folks who scream down allegiances to other governments to continue to scavenge our black American culture? They are not like us. Let me ask a question. You call us niggers and niggas, right? Do you know what we call you? You see, in the 1920s, the movement was called the New Negro Movement. Here in the 2020s, this is the New Nigga Movement. Hard ERs will get you sent to the ER quickly. We are all collectively gatekeeping our shit now, all of it. Like how you do all yours. But I digress. After the meeting in the office, I later contacted Miss Edward. All files regarding any items in my possession were transferred over to her, so that if I am ever detained or possession of stolen property, the attorney has the proof of chain of custody. So it says, I was in disbelief at this claim of theft. Considering how the items came to remain in that building, I kept thinking back to July 27, 2023. By now, you should have come to the conclusion that I am quite meticulous in my methods. We all occasionally slip, though. I have throughout this story, while fending off hacking attempts, threats against me and my house members, and more. However, you and your team slipped flat-faced after you departed that time. So much emphasis on that little bag, and whether or not JT shipped, whether or not you just shipped the big bag. Whether or not JT shipped. And whether or not JT shipped. That the big bag was picked through and tossed to the side with these instructions. Really needed that. The rest is trash. But you are you. So it was not trash. Not your stuff. Nobody wants to hear that bullshit. It was placed with the other high value lost and found a safe under a camera for 3 months. Therefore, when asked by the director of the department to clear all the old stuff out of the office for reasons I won't discuss, I obeyed, but that required an additional step. Simply trashing everyone was not feasible, as some of the items were extremely expensive. It is, after all, the billionaire's playground. To that point, are you a billionaire yet? I wouldn't know. If not, I challenge you to look through another lens. Imagine having a service actual monarchs, kings, queens, princes, and princesses, presidents, and head of state from all over the world with assets in the trillions on a daily basis. With the Goon Squad, so that then enter you. With the Goon Squad that pushes the service providers who are trying to assist out of the way, once banging one in the head, thinking he was a pap. It's kind of weird. Being nasty to all that stuff. Wow. Wow. Okay, so doing shit like be there in 10, then show up in 2, they want to complain about preparation. Unbelievable. You leave a wake of annoyance and stress in your path, in path that makes most people's skin crawl. On top of costing people to be fired, costing people to resign, and nearly costing me to be arrested. All on a lawsuit against young Theodore from earlier. Of course, Theodore was the gentleman that was outside yelling that Mark helped Epstein. Mark helped Epstein. Mark helped Epstein. He was that guy. At first, I was annoyed when the new third-party company took my department. I was provided with no company information. Okay, so move on up a little bit because we're going to see why that person got the target practice as well. We went over the mandated reporter training that this mole definitely has to report on anything foul going on. See, I can attest to the fact that I do my job to the letter of the law. That's what it makes me amongst the most. Okay, where's the one where he was talking about killing him or getting killed? You were warned so many times. My eyes are not trained to determine age. They are trained to decipher adult from adolescent. Young Theodore made changes to how he monitored young girls. So for all of you people who think you are going to play the games with me, I have a suggestion for you. Go back to your normal lines before you lose them. I am not someone for you to play with unless you're a player in any game. All items for sale November 9th, 2024. Bring your bags and big ones. So obviously this person is looking to definitely make a bag of this, of course, which not necessarily, I don't even think that is the case, because if they were, they wouldn't be spending $800,000 on a photo. Just think about that as well. Okay? So you people thought that I would give away the leverage for free. You're foolish. That goes to the lawyer. I like pictures too. Hide, no need. Now what? Let the chips fall as they may. I've already spoken with my mother, and I'm prepared to die. So we bold around here. I die, let's die. Wow. I die, lots die. And the other videos come out. So you all have bothered me, my family, my co-workers, and friends for what? The truth? She tried to hide her tears when I told her on Mother's Day that I might be murdered soon. But we have that kind of relationship. So imagine you telling your mother, hey, I might be getting killed soon for the shit that I'm doing. But, yeah, I was just playing, you know. You all have bothered me. Oh. Wait. Oh, there we go. I will lay down my life. Will you? Oh, my stomach turned that night. I made promises to a 6-year-old me to never allow things like that to happen on my watch. When I had to give the standard salutation after the transport, enjoy your evening, a piece of me died. God's plan. Now, here's the Snapple fact. I only told Kendrick about the items. So he didn't tell Drake about anything. This wasn't anything that Drake leaked to him. None of the sort. Who are these other moles? The House of Ebony is what validated me when I felt like a unicorn in the hood. They molded me into the lion you get today. And why is the truth so expensive? Of course, not necessarily much riddles as much as this person is looking to just make the bag off things right now. Not too many riddles are going on right now. I notice it's very few compared to what we did see prior to on that note. So, like I said, the fact that this person thinks that they're going to die is what really stood out to me. Because if you already know, of course, you're a martyr in this situation, right? So you figure there's going to be some type of casualty when it comes to that. So it's understandable when it's understandable when you like I said, when you have those type of casualties, man. I guess more so at a loss for words because, like I said, I didn't think the mole was going to be this informative of so many different things, having the blind items leading everyone on to a mystery of clues and things of that nature. You know, it's a lot, man. This person definitely is a martyr and a rebel for the generation to come. Definitely will be talked about for years to come, and how you pretty much just put out a slew and stream of different clues for people to look up and find different things on Mr. Drake Aubrey Graham that we appear to not have even known about. But we need to, like I said, be patient, I guess, now, being that this person has now put out another video showing jewelry, or should I say pride jewelry, that appeared to be from Drake's as well. So while we wait on that, I figured it'd be cool we do this.
Can you turn me up in the headphones?
So apparently the Boondocks had did their own little BBL Drizzy scenario, right? Give me 1 second here, 'cause I wanted to find something real quick for you guys to check out real quick, since I noticed on the other pod, for some strange reason, that's when the pod just went completely blank, and I couldn't for the life of me understand why it did that. But I had actually found a cool little cartoon for you guys of Mr. BBL Drizzy. So real quick, I wanted to look at oh, where's my video at? Oh, there it goes. Okay, I was gonna say, real quick, I did want to look at that, and the Boondocks actually have put out something earlier today as well. So here's what the Boondocks had actually put out.
Can you turn me up in the headphones? Yeah, yeah. Oh, punk ass Nicholson never went to high school. That's why he's a mother fool. Mama was a fool. Daddy was too. Wanna be like the Nicholson? Don't go to school, fool. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
This motherfucker went to YouTube?
This motherfucker went to YouTube. I tell you, man. I tell you. And for the Boondocks to actually play on this, once again, man, just tell you how much is investment it is on Drake catching these allegations right now. But this one probably had to been the funniest. And I don't know why my computer feels like it's just deleting the shit on the For some reason, my computer keeps doing this whenever I get that actual video. I don't know what it is. Maybe UMG doesn't want it to be shown, I guess you could say. I'm not too sure why. Give me 1 second here. I'm trying to see if I could get the actual thing, because for some reason, like I said, it just won't. Okay, there we go. So it wouldn't let me see it for a second.
This cake will make you show up. I know you see this.
probably the funniest shit that I have ever seen in my entire life, because it is a great depiction of what is happening to Drake, of Kendrick just, killing him slowly. Pretty much just making him suffer with the knife, just poking at him, and before he just completely digs into his skin. Just pretty much just torturing him. That's exactly what Kendrick has been doing over the past couple of, I want to say, month or two. He's pretty much just been torturing Drake and just killing him slowly. And then the funniest part about this is poor J. Cole sitting there whimpering and crying and whining at the bottom of the stairs on his bicycle. As Kendrick finishes and J. Cole starts to weep and cry, of course, feeling like he pretty much just abandoned Drake and didn't help him at all, and just sat back and watched him die. But then his look of worry as he looks up at Kendrick coming for him. And then it captures Kendrick in the best way possible. Of course, they say every genius has a crazy to them and a psychoticness to them. And Kendrick always displays this same psychoticness to him. This cake will make you show up. I know you see this blow up. And all for Kendrick to just walk right past J. Cole as J. Cole thought something was going to happen to him. Like I said, one of the funniest damn cartoons I've ever seen. Well, many cartoons I've ever seen. Just hilarious in itself. So, needless to say, man, once again, Drake, you were in some shit. Ain't nobody buying the Christopher Alvarez story that, him saying that he denies anything happened as far as him being violated. So of course he probably wasn't violated. And then there's another thing saying that he didn't even remember what happened that night. On top of you seeing this nigga at 3 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday. My man. We gonna get you right. But even get you out of here. So next time we see each other, we'll be getting into the child ring. Till then, peace. Lay your head on my pillow. Hear you, can't hear yourself. What you talking about? What you talking about? What you talking about?